Audio, live. Video, live. Drawing time. Oh, the Roll20 isn't showing up. That's very funny.
Roll
Oh,
20.
like everything is ready. Everything is live. Look. Wait, no. Don't. It isn't, but now it is. Okay. So, hello everyone. And welcome to the drawing time. Is the fucking chat widget not? Is the chat box not working? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Someone chat in Twitch chat who isn't me.
Boop. Ba-doop.
Oh, somehow I literally just put it below where it's supposed to be.
Oh, it was a layer down.
It was a layer down. Or pick her up and then I lay her down.
Oh.
Okay, important detail about the room that I feel like maybe wasn't immediately obvious when I pumped you guys in here, and could have a wide variety of effects. Oh, also you're all too large. I'm downscaling you. Becoming smallified. Okay. And just for reference, I guess I will mention this in the chat, but if Saito's character goes down, like I will allow her to become horribly maimed, but I won't allow her to die while she's absent.
Got it. So use her as cannon fodder.
It is drying time, so you know.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. She's our meat shield, especially with her meat shield.
Oh no. I feel like we're supposed to keep her. Watch at least.
Nikos is not going to survive long at 0 stamina.
No, he's
health. Not. Wait a minute. Is he really at 0 stamina? Were you guys not feeding him the entire time? Is he starving to death?
Oh. Not my pet.
I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, the joke here being, of course, I thought about it, Madeline, was like, well, like, if she goes down in this fight, because they're breaking into a house you might recognize. You know, quite plausibly based on how this is going down. Anybody who goes down could be, like, you know, a prisoner.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, what are you going to do with someone with a broken leg? Which, I mean, to be fair, they did nurse one person back to health and hunt in the desert, so. But you guys are in the basement of a rich woman's house. There is a stairway that ascends to a room that, based off of your slim aperture of the site above, would appear to be a kitchen, and you have had foresight of the home. You see a strange, like blocked off kind of room that doesn't seem to be part of the new architecture, but rather the original architecture. And there is a lot of grain and several amphoras down here full of some sort of liquid.
If there's any like hardtack or anything that travels well that'll fit easily in my pocket, I'ma swipe it. I've already broken and entered.
Give me a D6 adder under your sense.
Thief.
I mean, I've already done the breaking and entering. I might as well enjoy the spoils. I rolled a 1, which in this game is a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So, you do in fact find 2 rations of hardtack, which is of course starch, and it's like lightly salted, so it travels very well. It doesn't have a rot time. Rot time is longer than the campaign will last. So, Naraka, you just come back here and start fucking like grounging for rations. Bula, you know that you are here to obtain a dowry, which you are given to understand is 12 tusks of ivory, and the groom, who you are understood to be being used as a servant in this household.
Right.
What
these are like the stairs up, right?
Yeah, like the red line is like the shift up to the upper space.
Okay.
That's also kind of why, like, if you hit Control L on yourself, it's blocking your line of sight, because this is like a wall that's backing the stairs.
Gotcha.
Up is up, the light is up, dark is down, kind of thing. Bolade and Iboji kind of await your first sign that they ought to do anything. And yeah, you guys have successfully, you know, picked a lock and slid in, as far as anyone's aware, you know.
There's not really much else in here besides just like scrounging about, right? Just the stairs.
More or less.
Okay. Yeah. Iboji is the sneakiest of us all, I think. So I'm gonna tell Iboji to like, look up the stairs and get an idea what's up there.
All right.
Because I don't have eyes and I'm not great at.
You don't have eyes.
I have sense of two.
Oh, okay. I was like, how did I miss? But I get it now.
All right. So you guys came after cover of dark.
Right.
Correct.
It is a dark time and a
Yeah.
dry time.
It was the dry of times. It was
The darkest of
the
times.
dark of times.
Very clever.
One could hope there's less people about because it is dark.
Yeah, it's not going to be dark if I don't control L for some reason. It's really annoying. All right,
True.
so Aboji steps up, steps down, and reports back that the kitchen seems to be abandoned, and she hears a light noodling, as if though from a stringed instrument coming from the west. But it doesn't seem like there's much activity.
The kitchen is abandoned, like not used or just not people in there.
No, like, there's no one there.
Gotcha. All right, then. It's time to go up.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Going
does
up.
anybody have the treasure center vitae? I ask for no particular reason.
I thought about taking it, but I don't have mine open. So I have
All right, and Daraka, are you joining them on the ascent?
Yes.
All right. Bolade will linger with Saita and Nikos unless directed to ascend.
Gotcha.
So, the three of y'all are up here. You see this doorway out into the back area and another doorway into the other part of the house. There's a central hallway, which you have this memory map of people telling you what the house is like. So you know that there's like servants' quarters to either side of this hallway, as well as like the main living area. So what do you want to do?
I'm thinking there's not like much to see into this like little grassy area, right? Or
Not much to see. I mean, you see.
sorry,
you
not many ways to see out into there. Like not many windows.
You see only one window
see
at the
one.
moment,
And that's a door?
and that's a door. Yes.
Okay. Because there's the servants' rooms. I'm wondering if going outside is better than going through inside so we don't wake them up on accident.
Certainly, that is a risk.
I don't. I'm the. Should we have that map on our Roll20?
What map?
Okay, never mind. The one on the stream.
What map do you have?
The town. I see the pissed.
Oh,
Smith.
look at the
There we
bottom
go.
right corner. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or top right.
Oh, you guys thought I was Theater of the Minding this whole thing. I was.
No,
kinda
no,
like-
no.
No, I just didn't know where to find it.
I know what you're talking about. All right. Well, I don't think we're gonna find tusks in the kitchen. I don't think we're gonna find much in the kitchen because we don't have the treasure
Did we-
thing for no particular reason that was asked.
Did we get like the likely bedroom of the groom that we're trying to rescue?
Well, you know that he's being kept as a servant.
Okay.
That is true. Okay. We can probably. Ah.
We know where the servants' rooms are.
Yes, they're just here.
Oh, we do know that. I'm trying not to
Yeah. We
metagame what I see
can
on the stream versus what my character is.
we can see about
But we don't know there's anybody in there necessarily, but we know those are the servants' quarters because we talked to the
Correct.
mayor.
Is
not the
this
mayor,
one of the
but
games where I was doing? Because like the other one, you were able to watch and it was fine because I had an alternate account logged in, but I'm not doing that right now.
that's fine. I'm fine. Not,
Just
you know.
hide the tab, as it were. All right.
Here.
So
I'm thinking about. I think I want to go outside and see what windows
Well,
there are.
If we're here rescuing the duder. And if the servants' quarters are there and he's being saved as the servant.
Oh yeah, there's a window here. See in this room though.
so
Oh, you want to
Oboji
see more.
creeps
Gotcha.
around. So Bula, you step out here, right?
Yeah.
Do you hear vaguely the sounds of someone perhaps being roused within this chamber?
I go back. Oh no. Wait, no, here.
Meanwhile, Daraka, what are you up to? Stay in the hole?
I'm going to move as quietly as I can, like up here and around the corner.
You want to peer around the corner?
Yeah, and just like keep an ear out for movement in the house coming toward us.
It says you'll be 333. All right, so a woman in simple Hepman garb kind of like gropes her way out into this hallway, looking around.
Oh shit.
She seems to be like she might head imminently towards you. She's, supporting herself on the wall because it's fairly dark.
I'm going to try to silently get Bula's attention
Yeah.
and motion like point to my eyes and down the hallway and do the tick to the peace sign but upside down and make like fingers walking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Bula nods like several times. As you think she probably knows what's going on.
My plan is to silently wait for her and try to see if I can surprise her with a grapple while covering her mouth, and then I do want to tell
As
her
a
that we don't want
broad
her.
rule, you suspect that
Well,
someone can detect stealth people within their sense if that person doesn't have the
Gotcha.
shadow vitae, unless you've got a pretty clear blocker. So, somewhat paradoxically, if you want to remain unseen to her as she advances down the hallway, cornering up might be your best strategy, but that puts you out of melee range once she does see you. So it's kind of like you get a chance to roll sense at or under to like rush her once she does. If you want to do that, just letting you know.
Okay, well, maybe I don't want to do that. And then, so we know if this is an L-shaped thing. I'm guessing that there's like public house in between the servants' quarters and where the
You
lord and
think that
lady
the
of the
L
house
intersection, you think the intersection of the L is the common room, based on what you've been told.
Gotcha.
And that's where you
So
hear
there
the
must-
faint
so there's-
noodling of an instrument from.
Okay. Gotcha. So whoever the instrument player is closer. I'm gonna wait for the person to get closer. I do see that it's a woman and not the groom, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You note the triangular head. No.
Triangle.
So do you get in the corner or not?
I'm gonna wait for her to get a little closer, and then I think I'm going to just I'm gonna whisper. Don't be alarmed. We're here for the groom.
Okay. You whisper, "Don't be alarmed," and then she says, "We're here for the groom," and then she shouts,
Nah,
"Attack! They're here!" And
fucking
yeah.
bitch.
So, what? Yeah. Do you like try and rush up on her, or like?
Oh fuck yeah, she's gonna die.
Give me a sense at or under D6.
Okay. Boop 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 boop. Oh, that's probably not gonna do it. A 5.
All right.
Can I as well?
Yeah.
You said at or under sense.
Yep.
Hey, look, that hits.
All right. You want to rush in and like try and get this person?
Well, get is like, a snap of the fingers, where I turn them into a juice box.
All right. So, give me the D4.
Yeah. So I take 1 damage, and I just heal back up.
I forgot you should do
Assuming
that.
you put it in yourself.
Yeah, right back into me.
All right. So you rip 4 blood out of her,
It's like an infinite energy glitch.
and she hits the ground.
So I have a question. What happens if I rip it out of them and I put it back in? Is that something I could do to like not kill people?
That's kind of more horrifying than killing.
I think it's like that thing.
Or would that get them back up?
I feel like it would have similar effects to like autoerotic asphyxiation, honestly.
That's the only way that they can orgasm for the rest of their lives.
Oh my god. You don't have to answer it right now.
In the market for a less than lethal exsanguination. is what you're
That's
saying.
right, Lerb.
Basically.
We drine and we time. Come on, grab your friends. It's the drying time. This is a different kind of Bronze Age collapse, Lerb. You gotta catch up on the lore. This is the Ushinari fleeing the destruction of their land.
But with
Daraka, what's your sense? What are the senses?
I
on
rolled
that?
a 5.
No. What is your sense stat? Like.
Oh, I think it's a 3. Yes, 3.
All right, Bula.
am I going first? Yeah.
What's your stat?
Oh, sorry. Two.
Oh, you're not going first at all.
Yeah, no. I sit in the back. It's
All right.
fine.
So Aboji, hearing that, 1, 2, 3. Aboji's just kind of that sort of a person, I suppose. She's a woman of action. So upon hearing that the situation is, fucked.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
It's
I was swinging big.
She uses her stone dagger on someone who
She's packing?
cannot properly.
Oh.
Do you think she didn't have a weapon?
No, I forgot that the
I don't.
Also,
servant lady was
having
dead.
daggers on you is not uncommon at all in this world.
No,
Any
I forgot
random
the servant lady.
might.
I forgot the servant lady was dead. I thought she was brandishing a knife.
No, it's Aboji. It's
No.
Aboji's
Yeah.
turn.
That makes way more sense.
You might see the turn tracker. Tells you whose turn it is. This person has a negative malice to their defense because they're mostly asleep and is just like brutally knifed on the couch.
Fuck yeah.
It's a piercing weapon. It doesn't hit for anything.
This is the end of times. We don't have time. We don't have time to be fucking sweethearts.
So a knifing occurs. That's Aboji's turn. It's Mr. Average's turn. The people in the bed sort of like rouse from a sleeping state to like a sluggish state. This person is incapacitated given their current predicament. The loot boy, screams, "Attack! Burglars!" And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice damage to rush. Runs out into the street and starts screaming to anyone who will hear that, they're being burgled. There are murderers attacking the town.
That's unfortunate.
You hear a rustling, and I'm gonna test something here. You hear a rustling around the corner to the south, but no one emerges. Daraka, it is your turn.
Well, I mean, there's no need to be. Did we get the groom's name, or are we just calling him the groom? I don't remember.
The groom's name is Grom. Grom the
Grom,
groom.
we're here to take you home. Come to the kitchen.
All right, give me an aura at or under d6.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's the one that I shortchanged to be a hoss.
Phew.
All right, well, it's possible that he still does it on his turn, but what else do you do on your turn?
I rolled a 4 for what it's worth.
Yeah, I know, but like move, action, anything like that.
I gotcha. No, I'm gonna.
All right.
I'm gonna wait to see if he comes out.
Okay, so bulky average, downgrade. All right, Bula, it's your turn.
Yeah, so we gotta also not just the groom, also the dowry, right?
Correct.
So we gotta start.
He's probably gonna know where that is.
Maybe. Who knows? Shit. I know Boji was last that way with
You were just stabbing from that way.
A good old stabbing. I'm gonna start heading that way. I got 6 movements.
Yep.
2.
And if you want to spend a stamina, you could dash to double that.
4, 5. Well, I see her. Boji. Okay.
You see a curtain that seems to defend this room, and you see a bed chamber where people are starting to rise.
Alright. I'm gonna point. Does Boji see me? She knows me.
I mean, she's kind of stabbing someone on a chaise lounge. It's, you know what I mean?
True.
It's hard to do charades in that environment.
Boji,
Yeah, she looks at you.
we need the dowry. Do you see it in there?
And she says, she looks around and she says, "I think that's where they keep their valuables." And she points to that curtain.
The curtain?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. If I spend a stamina, am I still able to use my blood? Shit or no?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
As long as you
Okay.
have, I mean, if you have the resource
long-
to spend, then the game lets you
Yeah,
spend
'cause
it.
it's just blood. Okay. Yeah, so I get 6 more tiles. So I'm gonna spend my 1 stamina.
And you can take a corner hard if you want to, like, do a diag.
Gotcha. 1. Oh shit, he's got a sword.
Yeah.
How far is he? How far is he?
If I've known you're gonna be so brave, I wouldn't be a coward in the kitchen.
Sorry, they're a hoss.
No, that's not me. My aura is 4.
Yeah, there are 3 people sluggishly waking up to the north. They look pretty well armed.
Oh shit. You know what? What do you mean this would be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I'll be able to get into the room. So, you know what? I don't think. Well, I'll be able to get right here, but that's about it.
1, 2, 3.
And
You'd
I'm
be
the
entering
last-
on 4.
What are we entering on for? Oh, okay.
Do you want to just like dive through the curtain and see what awaits?
Sure, why not? This is.
There is a chest and several pots. All of them are, as you can imagine, quite sealed.
Oh, motherfucker.
You want to start like quickly rummaging through them?
Yes!
Give me a d6 at or under.
That's what, 2? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you cannot find what you're looking for in this heated, swift advance.
Okay.
So the party downstairs gets the idea shit is popping off, and they haven't gotten what they want yet, so they come up to join you. It's a Boji's turn, who, God, what would a Boji do here? I mean, she's a thief. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no.
She has a sense of 5, so that actually hits. So she quickly knocks over a few things, scattering. So she kind of like looks through, knocks over some pots, runs stuff about, and in the process, she scatters 3d6 copper shavers, which are coinage, and some other like supplies and linens are laid bare, and she says, "Damn it, there's not enough room for it." As you know, you open the chest, and it's clearly just like, you know, personal effects and other stuff, and yeah, so you're pretty sure it's not here.
Shit.
Mr. Average has to spend his movement getting up, but he does dash. Gets to the door, screams, "My wife!" And he tries to blindly stab Aboji through the curtain. This is dagger on dagger, same guard. And he is using a copper dagger that is giving him a +1. Aboji decides to blindly knife fight back with her own +0 stone dagger.
Should have given him a copper one. Or bronze one. Wait.
Well, we'll get weapons here
All right.
if we don't die.
So the curtain in the way is a factor that I don't really have a basis for because I don't have an idea of melee cover, but unfortunately for you guys, it's like half of the blood, good news, half of this guy's blood is on the ground. Bad news, all the blood it takes for Aboji to faint is out of her.
Oh, no.
So Aboji's on the ground. There's blood all over. And the curtain is, by this point, I would say, ripped up. And he, like, you know, tumbles through. She goes down.
Yeah?
And she does suffer a shock from going down. I would say the first person's already gone down. So everybody who heard the stabbing is up at 1 heat.
Mm-hmm.
So Daraka, give yourself 1 heat. Which she could use to prolong her downedness, but you know, you got ways of dealing with this.
Is he the orange one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the orange one.
Stone. All right. This person gets up. They spend a stamina to do the sprint as well. 1, 2. And this guy says, "I have the thief. You check on her." And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They check on the wifey, who entered shock when she hit 0, and has since died. And they scream, "No! They've killed our wife!" And,
Is that the bonus mission lady that died?
Huh?
Because she's the wife of the house, right?
There's 2 wives. You've killed one of 3
fucking
wives.
polygamist.
A lot of wives.
What is this, Mormon wives?
Well, I mean, they've also got a non-binary baddie, so, you know, they got multiple people in the polycule here. Alright, so, the person with the battle axe screams, as they arise, and 1, 2, with the sword, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're sprinting out. They see Bolade. Bolade sees them. It's clear that violence is about to emerge. The Luthoi is calling out for assistance. And it seems to you that the hue and cry has generated about one group of people in town who are picking up their daggers and clubs and spears, believing the village is under attack. You know, not necessarily immediately realizing this is a direct family rivalry thing and answering the call of danger. So you could expect them to try and kill people who they just think to be generic attackers of the town. It is Grom the groom's turn, and he finally comes around the corner and says, I'm here! I'm here! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He pants and says, down there! We have to go quickly. The door is locked, but the dowry's in the basement. They hid it somewhere.
The door's unlocked.
And
we have
hearing that,
friend...
he spends his stamina to just sprint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He looks around, hovering by the doors as though to depart. Daraka. So the groom has just run downstairs, and he's told you that that's where the dowry is as well. You know that Aboji and Bula are in the north, and you have some friends here in the south, and it sounds like people are screaming bloody murder because, well, you know.
Bloody murder.
Yeah, so what's the play here? There's a woman with a sword, with a short sword, running across the grass.
Is that called out to me?
Yes, Bolade would gesticulate, and he himself wields a copper axe. When the fuck did you get this guy a copper axe? Oh no, he started with it. So he has this copper axe in hand, ready. It's not a very long weapon, I would note. I think even a short sword is longer than it. Could be lying to you right now, actually, but you know.
And my default movement, I think, is 6.
I am lying to you. They both guard 1.
You monster!
How awful. Can't believe you.
Alright. Four. 5. Is that all? Is there no wall?
+1 for downing someone. Nope. You just see straight north into the next room. Oh, why the fuck is there a... Yeah, the light layer shouldn't be doing that, my bad. So yeah, you see this person who just found their dead wife, who looks up at you with bloody murder in their eyes and a spear in their hands.
I still have... I'm guessing, because I still have 1 more movement.
Yeah.
So if I get there, I'm still not able to attack them, though, right?
Correct. If you spend a stamina, you could sprint and get in to initiate the clash.
Okay.
Worth noting, there's a couple things you can do. That you can do heat moves and stamina moves. Particularly when you initiate a clash, you might want to think about those as you go in here because they can give you an edge or change the outcome in some way, and that might help you not get fucked on. The drying time standalone document has a big list. I should have put them in the rules, but I didn't. I'm working on that right now. All right. So what's the play, hey?
I just got to heat moves.
Also, I feel like I should be playing a more violent song at this juncture.
Probably, yeah.
Um. Can I see what? Did I see what kind of weapon they're holding?
They are wielding a stone spear. It is guard 3.
I'm going to go in with a hilt crack. I think.
Very good, very good, very good.
Does that cost me 2 or add 2?
Is it a heat move or a cold? Let me check. Hilt.
It's a heat move.
The +2, yeah.
+2 heat. Okay.
Yeah, the
So that
cold
would
moves
take me.
reduce it, yeah.
That would overcharge me, but I do have the child of.
You can't. So here's the thing: you can't voluntarily do that.
Okay.
I would
Then I'm
point
not
out
gonna
something,
do
however. You can spend 2 to slip inside the guard,
Okay.
so you can go down 2 and then up 2.
Okay.
Which would also make the dog in your favor.
Kaboom.
So you
So
go
we
down
shall
2,
do
you
that.
go up 2, and
Oh, I feel real guilty. I didn't charge in the first time, but
-2 heat, slip inside the enemy guard.
That's
You verse the
fine.
dog. So, what is the reach? What is the guard on your weapon?
the guard on my weapon is a number that I'm stalling to give you. Uh, 2.
Okay, so the dog is 1 in your favor. What is the quality of your weapon?
2 +2.
Very good. All right, so it's then add the plus. All right, so roll 1d6 +2. And are you wearing? They got you armor, didn't they?
Yes.
What kind of armor are you wearing?
This is why I feel guilty for not running in earlier. I forgot I had armor, to be honest.
It's fine. I turn people into blood batteries.
Bronze plate, which is armor quality, or armor dice 3,
Armor dice
quality
3.
5.
All right, yeah, have those numbers ready for me. But
Okay.
all right, give me your 1d6 +2. Very good. And remind me what weapon you're wielding.
Oh, I wanted to roll high that time. That's good.
What's the damage type? Also, yeah. So holy shit, 6.
Slashing.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
I have a
you
bronze
trigger
curved
bleed.
sword.
So you trigger bleed. I swear to God, they removed the bleed out symbol from
I think they did. I swear there used to be a blood
8.
drop.
In fact, you actually instantly kill them. So
Oh hell yeah.
gain 1 heat.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
You spatter with their blood. However, they do have 4 coming at you. Which, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, all right. So remind me your armor dice and the quality.
Armor dice is 3, and the quality is 5.
I see. I see. They deal 1 damage to you. Some of your blood is splattered.
Those mother bitches.
All right, so Daraka, that's your turn. This person continues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, also, I guess this is you. Ironically, you no longer necessarily want this to happen, but you now need to make a break check, which means
Who hit me?
you
person you
did
killed.
you made this happen. Roll 1d6.
What? Okay.
All right. If the result is greater, it breaks. Oh.
I don't understand what's happening.
So you did the hilt break attack.
I couldn't do that because it took me over.
I said you go down 2, up 2, and you said okay, and then you did it
Oh, okay.
with a slide inside the guard, and that's why you were at 2. When you
I
went back
thought
up.
I was just sliding inside the guard. I mean, I would have still done the hilt attack if
Yeah. All right. So your weapon degrades 1 quality, and
that sucks.
There's a copper battle axe. We can always take one or something.
breaks, and the stone spear does not degrade in quality. That is so the resolution of that. This fellow runs in here.
That's what I get for using a piece of gear I didn't make. Fucking piece of shit.
And they initiate a reckless clash with their 1 heat. So if someone's getting hurt, someone's getting wounded. And in addition to that, they are going to commit for 2 stamina, plus 1 their rolls. If it is otherwise even, the bronze short sword is in fact a quality plus 2 weapon. Sorry, this is going so sluggishly. Roll 1d6 plus...
Oh wait, no, my weapon lost quality, not the armor.
Yeah, the weapon.
Yeah.
So then it's quality 1, not 2.
1d6.
If it lost, assuming that's how it
So
works.
there's no dog in his favor. And oh, poor Bolade. Yeah, so 1d6 plus 1. Not really plus 1. No, yeah, hold on. He has a copper weapon. It's plus 1. Okay. So. Ooh. 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 That is very funny. I didn't give Honed or Born Killer to Bolade, did I? This is one of those times that would really matter.
What?
No, I did not. Okay, so here's what happens. Both of them clean each other out of blood. Neither has superior heat because the one with the house kind of spent it charging in, and they are both on the ground in shock. What's more, oh, did the thick head just come in clutch here? It did. Oh my god.
What, Belay?
So yeah, so she made it such that this was going to be like people are going to get wounded, right?
Yeah.
But he has a harmless level 0 head wound because of his natural thick head vitae. Meanwhile, she takes a level 1 leg wound, and they're both in shock and could die at the end of this because they have nothing to survive with. In fact, she goes down, survives. She survives her shock, but we'll see how it goes for Bolade on his turn. Bula.
Yeah. I'm gonna spend one blood to roll a d4 on take that blood out and put it into emoji.
Now give me a d4.
2. Oh no.
I'm gonna say, well, I mean that puts him to 0, which is good because I
Okay.
wasn't gonna give you more than the transferable amount of blood. I decided.
Okay,
And
yeah. I
You
was gonna
slam
say.
into a bogie, and this person's like, and they drop. They're in shock. On the ground, and yeah, Oboji will like spend a stamina to stand up on her turn, and she's like,
Okay.
as the blood slams into her, and she says, "Ah, be praised, the breath of life." All right, so, Bula.
And we determined that it's not in this room.
Yeah,
Or we
you
can't
determine
find
it's
it?
not in this
Okay.
room.
Okay, cool. So, and I don't think I heard the dowry thing from the guy in the kitchen, probably from here.
Yeah,
So, can I get past Saboji and
yeah,
like
you can get
out?
over both of them.
Okay,
The
so
prone.
2, 3. There's nothing really here.
There is stuff here. Do you want to
Is there?
like take a moment to like really look around at the valuables?
Yeah, yeah. I assume I gotta go over there. So it's 4 movement.
Okay. You find a suit of wood slat armor hangs on pegs on the wall. Aside from that, you do note that there is a linen dress dyed with red ochre.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the that slat armor really quickly.
Well, you won't be able to
Okay.
abscond with any of it this turn
Oh,
anyway because you.
absolutely not. No.
Alright, so that's
Yeah.
your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, so on the
I'll
parties
just
go. Sadly,
I'll just
both.
call that out for Evoji so she
I think
knows. Right?
it would be pretty obvious move for Saita to attempt to sense Adironder with Cherugian to stabilize.
Yeah.
She succeeds. Bullet doesn't have to make his own resolve, although she has no way to put blood into people. Um, Nikos, I would say she just probably gives the order to finish him off. He spatters himself with blood as he just knifes up the ground woman and steals her bronze short sword.
Oh no, somebody gave him a sword.
Steals her
Thus ends
bra?
the illustrious retirement of a dangerous mercenary. Um, dead to the pet salaryman. So that's the party go, as it were. Aboji
She will not be allowed into
spends
Valhalla.
1 stamina to stand up. Sort of stumbles blearily out. Well, I mean, honestly, she fucking scoops up the copper thrust dagger, sees that you guys are cleaning up, backs up to you, and says, "I owe you my life, but we must flee soon. Follow me to the basement." And
Absolutely.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after come in and
Oh,
check on you because she owes her your life. She owes you her life. She sprints south. And yeah, Mr. Average with the thrust dagger. Yeah. Doesn't survive the shock. His heart stops. Ms. Average already dead. Ms. Average already dead. The Loot Thoi, not realizing that the whole polycule is now dead, has gotten there's a growing mob of incredibly average people outside,
oh no.
with wooden spear and club, very low key, very low quality shit, but there are presently 7 people outside out front who believe there's some sort of
Yikes, right.
raider attack underway. So you might, I mean, feel how you will about it, but on the Loot Thoi's next turn, all these people start moving into the house.
Yeah.
Grom the groom downstairs looks around feebly and says, "I see something glinting in the back."
In the basement? Yeah, yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's definitely sprinting. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's slender. He slides through. 5, 6. He's like, "Star medal? What's that?" All right, Daraka, you are you're here, Daraka. What do you want to do? There is an angry crowd outside, and you are a murderer.
Ah. I do know that they're outside, so I'm going to yell, we're here to rescue a captive. Lay down your arms." And then I'm going to I'm not going to wait to see what they do. I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Mm. Mm.
someone screams, "There's dead bodies on the floor! They're murderers!"
They're dead kidnappers, you dolts.
They might not see it that way.
Oh. I'll fucking kill them all and let Bob sort it out. Blood makes the grass grow. Sorry. I do think I'm overcorrecting from playing a paladin.
Oh god, what if I played ska right now?
Oh my god, do not.
Start skanking the pickle.
Did you not enjoy the ska out?
I love ska music.
Oh, Burnt Spirits.
I'm a child of the 90s. I was in high school during the summer of ska.
Alright. To Daraka, that's your go, right? And you like spent the stamina. Wait, your stamina can't be.
Oh,
a
yeah,
6.
I'd
You
run.
sprinted.
Yeah. I can go 6 more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it says you're at 6 of 6 stamina, but you couldn't be because you sprinted into that fight.
Oh.
So you spent at least 1 stamina already. So go down
Yeah,
2 stamina
not...
from max.
Okay.
And be where you want to be. Bula is Bula, it's your turn.
Yo, okay, yeah, I don't need to be told twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, why? 5. Wait. Oh,
And, do you have to hit enter? Because it doesn't.
can I yoink the battle axe on the way out?
Yeah, if you want to do that as your action or whatever, you want the copper battle axe, boom.
Yeah. 4.
Oh, yeah, I should have grabbed that.
And then I'm basically in line with the emoji. I can't run unless can I press for another stamina?
Yeah, you can spend a stamina and move it.
Cool.
Well, have you already sprinted once?
I sprinted last turn.
No, you can keep sprinting. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it costs stamina.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, so if you have 6 stamina, you could go
6.
42
No,
squares
sorry.
in one,
what
but you would
what I
collapse.
was checking is once per turn.
Make sure that
Once per turn. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, this is where I am with the bronze battle axe.
All right.
Let me note that. Not that I could use it, but
I would say
Was it bronze or-
Saita would force Nikos to drag Bolade. The problem is Bolade is kind of a big guy, and Nikos is pretty much starving, so that doesn't get more than like halfway, and
Yeah.
I command Saita's attention.
If they make it to the stairs by me, then I'll heft the.
5. Oop. All right. 6. She spends another stamina. 1. Pops up. 2. 3,
Sorry,
4,
that's
5, 6. So your hands, though, like you put away your weapon and commit your hands to Bolade.
I mean, it'd really be better if somebody else could do it, but
All right. 1, 2,
we
3,
are the
4,
2
5,
beefcakes, so.
6. All right. Bula, you hear people begin to flood into the house.
Fuck off. No.
Like,
Oh.
they cry out at the scene of bloody murder. Grom the groom says, there's some sort of strange star metal back here. And you see a strange purplish metal ornamentation in the wall. He says, but here, the ivory. And he kind of, he picks up his dowry and attempts to lug that shit out. Yes, Grom the groom.
Groom the Grom. Wait,
So your name's gonna be Julia Gulia.
So, one, two, three, four, five, 6. There's some very interesting thing going on there with star metal, and like a strange contraption mechanism you've never seen in Araka, but now might not be the time. Grom the groom is sprinting with the tusks of ivory in a box. It is Daraka's turn, and at this point, I assume what everyone does is sprint the fuck out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all gonna
Head
make
to
it.
Head to that one dude's house who wanted us to kill the lady because we done did it.
Probably not directly there, I would say, right?
Well, I mean, make sure we don't
We
the
gotta
townspeople don't
lose
see
the
us.
townspeople first.
But I mean, can we bar the door? Oh wait, no, it probably opens out.
Yeah, it well, I mean,
Never mind.
it opening out is kind of a feature for that, but like, there's nothing to hand to easily do
the
it.
doors can open into one room or another, but this is an exterior door, so it probably opens on the outside.
Yes, but
Oh,
you
no,
will
probably
go
opens the
outside.
inside.
So, here's like
What?
the salient bit, right? You've killed like almost all of the people in this house.
Sure. But you literally said not but 60 seconds ago that we are able to make it out. From
Yes,
the basement.
you do.
Okay.
I'm pointing out where you are.
Gotcha.
Kill everyone in the house. Everyone was very freshly dead.
Gotcha.
You screamed something about being here to retrieve hostages, and the loot boy cries out, "My family! My whole family has been murdered! It must be that damn merchant and his mercenaries!" And someone yells, "There were foreigners staying at the alehouse!" And people begin to put two and two together. So,
Oh no.
Well, we're not going to the alehouse.
alright, so. I'm going to give you the best sense in the party, which is Eboji. And why can't I edit the fucking number on the party? What the fuck? The turn order mechanically just fucked. Okay.
I would just re-add them to the turn order. I see it at...
Oh, wait, no, don't do that. Fuck. Whoop. End turn. 5. Alright, so. A murder most foul has occurred. I'd say in the general, like, time shift of this whole affair, you can get, you know, like 6 squares. The hunters are starting to wake up as well.
Oh fuck. We don't want to deal with them.
Not really. I mean, maybe we just get out of town and we don't collect our reward for...
I don't think we'll be able to collect the
Yeah,
reward.
Well, your reward was supposed to be a cow, so I would question how you intend... I mean, it's not impossible, but...
Ride it out of
It's a little harder
town.
to move adroitly with a cow in tow.
That's true, I forgot.
So there's nomads camps to the northwest you came in with. You have just, you know, pulled this off. You're in their olive orchard. Which way does the party go? This, for reference, is the house of Jarn. Jarn being the guy who you, you know, met, shall I say.
And this is a walled city?
It's a town, and, like, there's, like, it's like garden wall height. It's very jumpable.
Oh, okay.
Like, this gray thing that goes between houses is just, like, you know, a garden fence between...
Like
it's
waist
stacked
high
gardens.
sort of thing.
It's something that would help if you were going to defend it, but it's not the sort of thing that, like, imposes upon the landscape and defends itself.
You're not keeping the Huns out very long with it.
Yeah. So, and it's not, like, enclosed fully, but it does, you know, run the back of this. Yeah, it mostly keeps out animals and, like, directs flow of traffic. My point being, where the fuck are you gonna go?
I feel like we have to go to Jarn because they might... I think they're gonna go kill him, or they're gonna check and see if we went to
No, because Jarn wasn't at the alehouse. Was Jarn at the alehouse?
No, to Jarn, I mean, all you know is that Jarn would rather another guy still be in charge of town.
Yeah,
and was
the
gonna
best
be,
thing
like,
we can do for Jarn is stay the fuck away
quietly
from
happy.
him.
He was also pretty adamant that he wasn't going to pay, like, he couldn't make it seem like he paid you for killing her. He couldn't seem close to that moment.
So the best thing we can do for that and that whole deal, maybe we can circle back sometime and get a cow. Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh no, they're not gonna kill the caravan we came with.
You suspect that the Ulano caravan is gonna win a fight. Like, if Mountain Blade Warband happened and every peasant came out, the horse archers are winning.
Yeah, the Kurgan Khan's winning. Okay.
So do you guys just break north? And if so, could you show me precisely how you do that?
I wouldn't break north because the hunts are there.
Yeah.
I think south and east would be like the safer way.
All right. If you do this, you'll be traveling along the windows, which, I mean, like, if you stay low to the hill, you might kind of pass by, but it would be like, you know, you'll be right outside house windows, is what I'm saying. But there's an olive orchard over here.
Yes, we can run
east. Not blooming yet, but you have tree cover, so if you get out into it, you'll at least have some obfuscation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's probably our best line of thought is to just head.
Yeah.
Just
if we're wrong, we'll be wrong together.
All right, and so that's how you run, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone in the party who isn't carrying someone spends 1 stamina. You,
Okay.
Daraka, spend 2 stamina.
Okay.
Because you are carrying Bolade through this. Grom the Groom gets Tylor at around this time.
And
And
stamina left. Fuck.
yeah, so let me see something here. Let's make this for the town, really. Yeah, so the Watchful Huntsman.
Yeah.
Who was bulky and he's unfit. They're supposed to be fit. Sees you and like kind of like runs out onto the hillock and starts to call for their fellow hunters. The smith is kind of roused, but she doesn't seem to be really doing anything about it. But the point is this, right? You think that pretty much all danger from the town has elapsed.
Right.
With one exception. You were about to break out onto a steppe, if you will.
Yeah.
Open grassland. There was one guy with a bow who's gonna get about 1 to 2 good chances to shoot at your group. Do you
Serpentine!
do you like turn about and try to shoot them? Do you just make the run for it?
I
I
would
got
say
nothing ranged. I'm just running.
we have Eboji has
Oboji's a
ranged
slinger.
weapon.
She'll have to
Yeah.
dedicate. She's gonna have to like turn around and shoot.
Can you steal his blood from this far out?
Probably not. That's like 4 squares away only.
Yeah, no, not. Yeah, this is a different kind of square. Like one of these is like 10-ish squares.
Yeah,
These
this is
like
way
the
too
mega
far.
square or whatever. So,
I don't know your magical ways. I'm but a simple.
so
a
your
simple
plan is
smith.
Oboji will slightly trail behind and start hurling rocks
Yes.
to counteract. Okay.
Yeah. We need some cover.
Okay. I'm gonna
Otherwise
do
we'll just all
this
die.
off this one. I mean, she's gonna win.
I mean, he's only got 2 shots. There's 5 of us.
Yes, but I'd rather not
Alright.
lose anyone
So
else.
she and him are going to shoot at each other simultaneously.
Okay.
It's dark out, so we want to hit a 5, right? Our target whatever difficulty is 5. TD minus 2. Minus 2 TD. Okay, so let me just make sure Boji doesn't have anything super relevant to her slinging career. No, she doesn't. She's more about climbing and not getting seen and sprinting.
Yeah.
She should have 1 more stamina than she does because she gets to sprint once at the start of combat, which she did. Okay. She slings a rock. He shoots a bow. But shoots an arrow.
Can I make it any more obvious?
So our target is 5. You guys are breaking cover as this happens. There's no longer cover.
I am moving serpentine.
What are you sure with the person slowing yourself
Yeah.
down?
No, I'm carrying him like a sack of potatoes, so I'm hoping that he's a meat shield for me, I
Occluded
guess.
from view, is prone, raised shield, cover, moved on last turn. Okay. So right now, -4 TD against Eboji, and -2 TD against Watchful Huntsman. Eboji shoots. So Eboji's trying to get a 3 or below. She grazes him. He is bow, okay, so he's gonna take a bit. He responds with an arrow. He needs to hit 5, 4. He needs to hit a 1, or it doesn't count. Oh.
Son of a bitch.
So that does count. Oh, Boji's at 2 blood. Oh. I need to determine what weapon and ammo he has, because that's going to make a world of difference, my friends.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So
Take
I
blood
think
from our pet if you need to.
I think reasonably speaking, the hunter has at least a short bow, which is a +0. And, okay. You know what? Hold on. Fortune, misfortunes. Let me read the dice here. Ah. Unfortunately for you, he has 3 prized copper arrows, and he's using them. So, for 2 hits, she loses the additive quality of +0/+1, which is 1 twice. She's at 0 blood. Entering shock, going down, like, you know, a ways behind you, at the tumbling down the ridge. What's more, she finds her struck in the O.
Is that the head?
Ah, God, that's the awkward moment when I mentioned that's the head. So she has entered bleed out. I think I just used red dots for it. Entered bleed out. She's triggered shock again, although you can't really double shock. But that's a L1 head wound.
Fucking hell.
Here's more or less what happens. You can try and disappear into the grass before you and leave Aboji to her fate, which is to say all but certain death, as she is like half a minute from bleeding to death. Or, gee, if someone had the blood to rip out of someone and shove into her, which would instantly cancel her shock.
Take it from the little bitch boy.
I need to make sure it doesn't kill somebody, because I can roll
I
up
don't
the
care.
4. So Nikos
Has a
fucking
max
baddie.
blood. Nikos is 4 out of 4 blood. As long as you
Okay.
roll less than max.
So what you're saying is roll a 4?
Okay,
Okay, 1 HP.
It's a bochi.
Okay. So you rip it out of Nikos, who kind of moans. It's a little awkward. You slam it into a Boji.
Which also hurts me too.
And I have an important note. Does your ability cancel bleed?
Let me see.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Cancel shock, but does it cancel bleed? Can you sanguine something?
Revive those who have recently died of blood loss and cancel shock / revives those who died of shock in the last round. So no, it doesn't do anything about bleeding.
Okay. Saita can address the bleeding. She's going to -1 bandage. She's gonna waste, like, I don't know, maybe Nico's glows. I mean, so she can cancel the bleeding on her, but it means that the party is now the 4 party, right, and the aft party. Which is to say, Saita, Nikos, Aboji,
I think I'm gonna
Bula, and you
continue, but at
yeah,
half pace, just because I'm carrying somebody.
Well, Grom is carrying a box and exhausted,
Yeah.
and you're carrying a heavy person. So, but yeah, so you guys are disappearing to the grasslands, and gosh, what does he care about the most? Yeah, so here's the thing, Daraka.
Mm-hmm.
Would he know it's you? I don't think so. It's too dark. Because if he knew it was you, he'd definitely try and shoot you. But I just
True.
don't think he has a way to know it's you.
I mean, I guess not. Teacher, don't you forgot to sign homework? But I am wearing. I mean, if you can make out the armor.
Oh shit,
There's
you're
probably
wearing
not-
shiny metal
there's-
armor.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's probably
God,
not a lot
glints
of
in the
people that he's
moonlight.
seen wearing
Alright.
armor like that lately.
Alright.
I'm nothing but fair.
And his quality pierces up to level 1 armor. Okay, so he's gonna get like one more shot this direction, and then maybe one in the aft party, depending on how the aft party acts. Even if the 4 party should inherit a different thingy, I don't give a fuck. I'm just doing it. I'm doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Takes 1 shot at you. It's dark. He uses it at 3. Did that roll not go through? Yeah, a 4, a 3, and a 1. Okay, so you have armor dice.
Yes. 1 second.
So
Let me finish getting shot at.
All right, it is a piercing weapon. So
What?
okay, so how many AD do you have?
3.
Okay, he pierces 1.
Hi.
He deals 2 damage, and yeah. So
Yeah, wait.
a pierce for 1 and 2 means he does nothing. So okay. So he reduces it to nothing, and okay. How many armor dice do you have? You have 3?
Yes.
Roll 3d6 and try to
Okay.
hit at or under the quality of that armor. Roll 2 of them.
Simmer down. Simmer down. I'm almost done.
Yeah. Roll 2 of your armor dice. 2d6.
Just 2 of them?
Because only 2 of them are being threatened.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
One of them, unless you have, it's not quality 5, is it?
It is quality 5.
Just kidding. The arrow bounces. It doesn't actually cause the wound because you totally negate all damage.
Damn.
It tinks on you. Good investment in armor. Your group escapes. The aft party. The question is, do you guys just try and book it, or do you try and have a Boji do a round 2 with ranged combat with this guy?
No, book it.
Okay. You all book it out into the grass. You're moving. You're obscured. You're in cover. As the grass swallows you, it becomes impossible for it to hit you. Yeah. So the party meets back up. Somewhat worse for wear, and I presume you guys just sprint out into the night.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
Okay. By the time the adrenaline wears off, first of all, -1 spikes, -2 spikes total, because I'm gonna say you spend 1 to re-up on your stamina as you run. This happens
Gotcha.
that you get like a second wind during it. You guys,
I'm
find
out of
yourself
spikes,
1
then.
span east of Curlhorn, as it's like the middle of the night, and you realize if you keep going, you're gonna be exhausted, and you are out in the great sea of grass. And you have a couple matters to
Bam.
attend to, which is to say, the amount of blood in your bodies is not what you would want it to be. You know that when you sleep, anyone who's down blood is going to burn through their protein to re-up as much of it as they can, and that anybody who goes without one of the food groups is going to have issues. And you generally make 2 spans of progress a day, and you are presently 8 spans from Tamaka, and one of those spans would go directly adjacent to Curlhorn, where you have just fled. So, what you up to? What's the play here? What's the plan? How are you? And Bolade is presently completely, conked out, and he has an L0 head wound, which is fine. But of course, dearest Aboji suffered a wound, did she not?
Emoji, I think she did. Didn't she get hit in the fucking head?
Oh fuck yeah, she's got a level 1 head wound, so she's dizzy. So, you're out in the steppy. What's the plan?
Probably address wounds first once we feel like we're far away enough to not be chased or whatever out here.
All right, and let me just copy
Is
the
it
party as they are right now. Clear out the party as they were, and you do not presently dream of the future. You're mostly dreaming of surviving. So that's your horizon. Grass.
grass? Lots and lots of grass.
There's lots of grass.
Oh my
And,
god.
Hey. That means that there's animals, probably.
Yeah, I mean, the bounty isn't 0 in a steep, unlike it is in a
So-
fucking desert.
Yeah.
I mean, a day
Um,
hunting, so it's another day past when we attack the town before we go by again.
I mean,
I do have 2 servings of hardtack. We can decide who would be the best to have the starches.
let me see what the...
Well, so as I see it, Aboji and Bolade at least are at 111 and everything but water.
I am as well. So, and we have a bunch of starch, right? Like a bunch of.
I have a feeling I should be at 111.
So, 2 for me.
Yeah, I don't think that the party's consumption varied after the feasting.
No.
I have 2 starch to contribute.
Yeah, I think we have some more.
The heat of the day has died down for everyone.
Okay, we
Oh,
also
man.
have the 8 salted crackers from the city.
Oh, yeah.
So we got basically 10 starch, which there's now
We
7 of
start the
us.
starch-
Well, 1, 2... Oh, yeah, because Grom the Groom is with you.
Yes, we have
And-
the groom with us, which we have to.
If you don't bring him back
back.
alive, you know, you're not really gonna...
Yeah,
We can
so
probably be okay if we come back without the ivory, but we're probably fucked if we come back without it.
yes, the human life matters a little bit more than ivory. Typically. So, yeah, he is probably going to be dedicated with starch because starch is like the easiest way to die. So that is 9, and then if we all eat a starch, that goes up and doesn't count against us for the day, right? When we sleep, so we'll stay at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, might as well all of us eat today, because it staves it off anyway.
Alright, so everyone gets starch?
Yeah, so that's 7 total. So we have 3 starch remaining, I believe. They're all crackers or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Cracker Jacks. Alright, and does anybody get any protein or fibrosity?
I don't think we have any.
Nice.
So we would have to forage and or hunt.
Grom the
which-
Groom looks very, like, shell-shocked, and he's like, they fed me. Now they're all dead. But they also kidnapped me. The bastards. He kind of punches the ground and he cries.
Well, now you're out here. We could bring you home. That's
Yes.
the idea.
I can finally go home. Thank you. You've saved my family with this.
Well, it's always nice to hear that I did something good. I say covered in blood.
Indeed.
Emoji's blood.
So,
Speaking of emoji, how does healing wounds work again? Healing recovery.
the wound goes down a level every time they
Okay.
recuperate, and you recuperate as long as you ate a ration that day.
Okay, so she should be.
If you eat a ration, sleep.
Yeah. So after resting, she should be good. Cool.
Mm-hmm. So, everyone sleeps. Everyone consumes whatever protein they have left to regenerate blood. So I'm running the NPCs for that, and I'll just let you. And Saita has no issues. Both of them gain 1 blood. Everyone 0 your heat, max your stamina for the next day. And if you had no fibrosity, the NPCs at least are down at 0. Water ticks down to 2. So Grom the groom awakens, teary-eyed, bleary-eyed, looking out over the horizon, and you are in the steppe.
Alright, just reading. How Fiber Velocity works. Okay.
And you don't enter the starving state with it until the end of the day at 0. So strictly speaking, you
Yeah.
have today to find fiber and protein.
Yeah.
Here's a reminder of what's around you on the map, and
Yeah. I reckon we should probably try and how does the spams work again? There's we got like 2 movements basically. But if we try to forage, will that slow us down?
that'll take up one of them. Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking. I'm thinking about possibly more distance because I don't know how they're going to react, while also
Yeah, I mean, you are within a half day's travel of the town where you committed a murder, anti-kidnapping, burglary. Burglary of stolen goods back, but you know, it's kind of a time when it's sort of considered
Close-
like a
close
rooting
enough.
for the
Semantics.
home team sort of law and order, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we kind of have to
Oh yeah.
spend
So
one segment at least hunting and or gathering.
Correct.
And the question is,
My-
do you want to do that now or do you want to do that then?
I
Like,
would
maybe-
think that possibly make some distance still, and then forage.
Yeah,
Because I assume
makes
that they
sense.
know that we went east
True.
because we didn't kill the hunter. So
Does anybody know about how to like disguise our tracks or anything? Because I'm assuming the huntsman will
What's your best bushcraft?
perhaps be able to.
good question. Let's see.
Bolade has a 1. It's probably the best.
Definitely better than mine.
I have a 0. So
Bolade says, there is tall grass all around. If we spread out, we will not look more than a group of animals trotting. And he kind of gesticulates for everyone to kind of fan out a little.
okay. Yeah.
And that's the best insight that your party is able to muster.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Grom the
Yeah, 'cause
groom
that-
says, I'd never seen grass like this until I came here. And yeah, so where do you guys travel in that one span?
I'm gonna quickly ask Grom, have you seen like the exterior of the city much, or have you just spent most of your life in?
He says, I spent most of my life in Tamaka, but oh, are you taking me to be married?
What? What?
Well, this was my dowry. I was to be married in the hall, in the hall of Jami.
Where? Where's that?
It's to the east.
To the east.
Wait, that was it. You were wait. I thought he was supposed to marry one of the polycule.
No,
But they wound up.
no, they kidnapped.
Oh.
They committed the humiliation of the dowry against his family by interdicting the dowry and the dowry. Normally, they do it. They leverage it
Oh.
to get the person to be their servant, but they went so far as to just kidnap him and the dowry, which was really bad.
Gotcha.
How long ago though? I asked him
It's been 1 month.
It's been one of them.
And also, we're supposed to take him home, right?
You were told to take him home,
Yeah.
so
We're taking you home.
and he
I
says,
mean, I doubt your bride is still waiting, or husband. I don't know.
and he's like, what?
As
Why do you assume my bride won't be waiting for me?
because it's been a month, man.
He's like, that's not so long for love.
No, but like in one spot, you still got to pay the bills over that month.
And he's like, but she is the daughter of a merchant. She doesn't have to move around to pay her bills. That's what her dad does.
Okay, well, we're hired to take you home.
And he kind of looks frustrated and says, well, I guess it wouldn't do to arrive to my dearly beloved looking like this anyway.
There you go, freshen up. You know, get a new suit. Plus, you don't want to get married without your parents, and your parents are back at the house. So
You're
I'm sure
right.
she's still waiting for you there.
You're right. Kind of sighs and pats off
Hey,
his sodden
you've
linens.
already waited a month. What's a little more time? Huh?
He says, "Oh well, I suppose that's one way to think of it."
Plus, like you said, a month is no time for love. So yeah,
He's like,
it's all
"Yeah,"
good.
and that seems to satisfy him. And yeah, you guys have Grom the Groom with you, and you have the world is your oyster.
Not my oyster.
Which way do you head? He indicates that
Uh,
the Hall of Jami, where like the person who rules over the village of Curlhorn, like at the top level, resides, and where he thinks you would receive a kind reception because you know that's where his bride's family is. But
but we just murdered a prominent family, and it like in his employ slash
well,
purview.
he says, well, I mean, the moment they kidnapped me and stole the dowry, they made the first attack. You were just acting in defense of my family. We could
True,
hardly be blamed.
but that's not to say that he won't. Regardless, before we do the hunting and gathering, if we're gonna move before the hunting and gathering, I'd like to still do that in the grass.
Yeah, so the question is, which way in the grass?
So I was thinking either east or northeast just to put some more space
Mm-hmm.
and then just kind of loop around. I know that sucks, but
Yeah. All right. So, which will it be east or northeast?
I want to say northeast just so that we can keep going so we can just go west afterwards.
Dark Artwork, any strong opposition there?
No,
You travel. You see a white hall on a set of hills to the southeast. He points and says, "Look, see, that's the Hall of Jami." Um, Leland rolls a die. Don't worry your sweet little heads about what that
I'm
is.
scared there's dice.
Um, and
I was like, who the fuck is Leland? Oh, I was talking to the third person.
uh,
Like, I don't remember a character named Leland.
and yeah, you're out in the steppy. Okay, so you intend to hunt, correct? Or
Yes.
and forage.
Hunt and or
Yeah.
forage.
Okay. So, do we want to go back over those rules, or and do you guys know how you want to divide that labor?
Give me a refresher, please.
Okay, so while you are moving around, you can passively forage,
Mhm.
which you need to have a bushcraft of at least one to do that.
Gotcha.
Which I will say, Bolade would have done, even with his level 1 head wound.
Mhm.
So, which by the way, they all degrade one level in the night because they got to recuperate. So,
He had a level 0.
because he has the Vitae,
Right.
the special
So does he
Vitae
have a?
that makes
So
that
do
a
we all
thing.
have -1, level -1 if we're not injured?
Um,
Hmm?
you could think of it that way, but really it's more so
Okay.
level 0 only exists if you have the Vitae. If you have a thick
Oh,
body
gotcha,
part.
gotcha.
Because
Okay,
Bolade has a
okay,
thick head. Keeps
gotcha.
him safe.
Otherwise, it'd be impossible.
Yeah. Alright,
Yeah, no,
so
man's
1d.
literally has a, a
All say he
skull for
travels
it.
through the steppe, um, and he has a 75% chance to get this. Just don't roll a 1. He rolls a 1. He didn't get anything the first day.
You dumb
Um,
fuck! I should have left you at the house.
and with that, okay, so your options are to active forage or hunt, more or less. Characters can set out to actively for all of this. You're gonna have to ask yourself what's the bounty level of the area.
Mhm.
The bounty
What
level of a
is?
step is 1.
Okay.
Hills at a +1. You're not in Steppy Hills, but there are Steppy Hills to your southeast. But there's also like a settlement there.
Yeah.
But you're just in straight up bounty level 1 Steppy. So, characters that set out to actively forage spend half the day, which is this travel span, finding food. You may make a
Yeah.
bushcraft sense run, ignoring all normal rules for setting and adding d10s to a run and instead rolling 1 plus X, where X is the bounty level, so 2d10 in your case. Active Forgers. Active Forge produces yields, bounty level plus Forger's bushcraft skill, of a given type. Success, many yields are produced. What the yield consists of produce of a... Okay, so here's the thing. If you have bushcraft of -1 in a bounty level 1 area, you cannot successfully forage anything because all of your
Yeah.
yields would be 0.
Yeah,
So
we were having that
who has
trouble
a
with the.
bushcraft of 0 or greater?
I do.
Anybody else?
Not me.
Uh,
Okay, moving along to hunting. Characters that set out on a hunt spend half the day, one span of travel, normally, seeking suitable game. They make a bushcraft sense run, ignoring all normal rules for setting and adding d10s to a run, and instead rolling 1d10, 1 plus X d10, which is, of course, bounty level again, so 2d10. Every success is plus 3 protein the game contains in meat. They may then make a singular decisive shot. Ammo is always destroyed. On a failure, no game is found. With 0 hits, the target gets away completely. If they graze, only 1 hit, then the game flees, bleeding. They may spend 1 stamina to chase it down, but it may attract predators. If you get more than 1 hit, the game is dead on the spot. The blood may still attract predators, but there is ample time to butcher it and move on. Attempting the shot, regardless of outcome, causes plus 1 heat. Actors must be at least proficient with their weapon to take the shot. Multiple actors may participate in a single hunt and choose to fire simultaneously at the game. Only one can make the sense bushcraft run, however, or do the shooting.
I'm worthless.
I can just do the passive stuff only with a bit.
You can do the active forge. You can.
Oh,
Okay, so
well, I have a
Bolade
0.
and Oboji. So Bolade can harvest and Oboji can try her luck.
Yes.
Well, okay, hold on. Let me check because she did successful hunting last time.
Yeah,
She has good sense,
Mhm.
is what it is, because her both. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's Oboji.
Because
She's
my
rolling
sense is
2d10.
2.
She wants to hit a 4. She finds a 6 protein young gazelle.
Oh, nice.
Boom.
She takes the decisive shot. Target is 5. She just needs to not roll 6s. She cracks its head in one go, and
Nice.
so she's bringing home
She's
6
really the
protein.
hero of the story. Aboji's really the hero of this campaign.
Bolade,
We're just playing the NPCs.
Bolade, for his part, is a bushcraft 1 and a sense of 2. He gets a 3. He gets 1 success. He is bringing home 1 yield of 2. He finds bushberry. 2 rations of bushberry. Holy shit. You guys got both fiber and protein today.
Nice.
But not enough for everybody.
Well,
And
the step is like a step up from the desert, but like
Right.
it's the kind of place you can still starve, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Lee, for me, it was that another 2d10. So I can't shoot.
Yeah. So you're foraging, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Roll
yeah.
2d10. And what is your
Yeah, I-
sense? And what is your bushcraft?
2 at 0. So I have like a 20%
Yeah, you don't find shit.
on dice. Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm probably not gonna get anything, but the chance to try it.
You come back from a long day of hunting. Okay, I will say this: while you're out foraging, you see an Ulano scout who rides up to you.
Yeah.
The woman looks down at you from the saddle and says, "You, Eltail,
Yeah.
we brought you to the village of Curlhorn. Yet in the night there was violence. The villagers tried to blame us for it. We said we had brought you on passage and had no idea your intentions of violence. Did you use us for a raid unwittingly?"
No, I did not use you for a raid unwittingly.
Then do you deny that you committed violence in Curlhorn?
I do deny that.
They narrow your eyes at you and they say, "Then who? Then why have you disappeared in the night after the attack?"
Because they also blamed me. Why did you leave?
We were only there to do but scant business before riding onto the Hall of Jami. She kind of narrows her eyes and says, "And we would have been far cleaner about it. Those places that do not transgress against us are not attacked. You don't understand the ways of the Ulano, and you would do well not to impugn our honor." She kind of like looking at you. Give me an aura society to like make her buy your bullshit lie.
Okay, so
It's a social thing, so you
when
could gain heat.
using when using Aura, I also gain another D10 because rhetorician.
Okay, so if you want to gain the
And
heat, you could
then
have 4d10.
yeah, I'm gonna roll for 4D10.
Oh my.
And my Aura, what is the other one?
Society.
Society. So Aura, wrong sheet. Aura of 4, Society of -1, so target number of 3. I got 1.
All right. You convince her, and she says, "Very well then.
Holy shit.
I advise you to stay away from Curlhorn for some time. It seems that there is a hunting party has left, seeking those responsible. They left to the northeast of town, intending to strike out a day. So, by the time you return to your camp, I suppose they will have traveled 2 spans." And she tells you this, and she says, "We ride on to the Hall of Jami. I wish you the best in clearing up this misunderstanding. It seems that when that hunting party returns to town, there will be a reckoning about who is to run it now that the murder has been committed. Or perhaps a just freeing of a prisoner." That cocks a brow. You don't have anyone with you, but she says, "Until we meet again," and she rides off. And you are vaguely
Until
aware of the
we meet
fact
again.
that some trails of dust to the south that some Ulano nomads have probably gone to the Hall of Jami.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys return, and with the food around the campfire, you have a fun piece of knowledge.
Mhm.
Here is the fun piece of knowledge you have.
Yeah.
Assuming you trust the nomad, a hunting party from Curlhorn, hunting you, left to the northeast and traveled one further span that day.
Yeah.
So as you settle into camp, and they settle into camp, they are within one span of the area I am presently pointing at with my arrow.
Yeah. So
So you are presently playing Minesweeper.
yeah.
So all that said, what's the food? Let me see. Does Saita have anything?
There would be 3 starch in total left, I believe.
Saita is really good up, so she's good. She's at 1, but she's good. I'll say she found some water. And
Besides the protein.
Saita's doing pretty good.
Rations.
But how are you guys doing?
I have 2 starch, but 0 in the others. I need blood, so I want some of the meat.
So
Honestly, the wounded people would
yeah. The blood magi. What if there were a lot of bleeding people around to take blood out of? But so Saita is good up on food. Hold on. This couldn't really be her character, could it? I don't see any skill points spent. She definitely spent her skill points. She didn't have bushcraft, did she? She has sense of 3.
I have no
I'm
idea.
not sure. I know she has medicine.
No, yeah, even with a sense, with a -1 and a sense of 3, she still brings home 1 yield of 2. Is that more berry? I think that's more berry.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
4
berry.
total bushberry fiber, 6 total gazelle meat protein. So, how will you divvy up the food this night?
I mean, I'm fine with the person that can heal getting healed with the meats,
Yeah, I'm one protein off
getting that meat injection.
from healing back up.
And bear in mind,
Grom?
so some of
Yep.
you began the day at 0 fiber and
Yes.
0 protein. So if you go to sleep tonight and you haven't solved that lacking, then you are in a bad position. Which is to say, no fiber, you no longer regenerate blood while you sleep. So you won't
Yeah.
be able to. When you get scurvy, the protein regen breaks down anyway.
Yeah. Let
If
me.
you don't have protein, you no longer regenerate stamina after you sleep, and your spikes will bring you back up to 1 less stamina. So basically, every time you spike, you'll be at 1 below your max stamina.
So we have four of those berries. Okay. So the 4 berries are gonna go out to Bolade Eboji, uh, Baraka, and myself, and that will allow us to heal overnight.
Grom makes a sad puppy face, but he doesn't complain because he did get himself caught. So you know.
Yeah. Then the 4 of those are gonna also get meat, and that leaves 2 meat left, one to Grom and then one to Saida. So Nikos is the only one that doesn't get meat.
All right, Nikos, your starving dog. No,
No, he had starch yesterday.
Yeah.
watching you have feasts of berries and meat. All right, so
Do you share the information that you got on your thing or not?
Oh yes, of course, of
Okay.
course.
Nikos
I
does
give that
occasionally
info
stare a
out.
furtive glance at the tusks of ivory.
Do we?
Nikos, if you steal that,
And say, I'm
I
not
will
stealing
suck.
anything. I'm very
I will.
loyal.
I will suck the blood out of you and put it into Bolade.
You already do that.
I'll do it again.
Indeed. All right. As the as you guys settle down for the camp, Grom does propose as you hunt, as you eat. What if the hunting party is traveling through the night, trying to find us?
I think we go. Would it be fair to say that I know the information that Mithra states
Huh?
Viewraptor
Oh, I
Oh,
mean,
well.
put into the chat?
we.
Yeah,
Because maybe
culturally,
we
you would
don't.
understand that if you
Yeah.
return to the
Yeah.
hall, if you return to the Thrive Jummi, then you've undone the humiliation if the marriage happens.
Maybe we just take him to the.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. See if we can bring him there
Hmm.
and see if that could just work.
Hmm.
Otherwise,
Do you have a way, Grom, to prove that we did indeed save you to your family?
Um,
an heirloom of some sort.
and uh, he kind of thinks about it. And he says, "Oh," and he gives you a copper anklet.
I take it.
Although it's worth noting, if you just return with an item,
Yeah.
but you know, it's better than none.
I mean,
I
would like deliver? Maybe we can find if he's a man of letters, maybe we can find a pen and paper.
or
Well, that's
stone.
you can. Well, do you have any clay tablets?
Oh,
I
that
don't know.
or
So you could
that.
probably buy one over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'll definitely be able to buy something like that when you reach
Yeah.
the Hall of Jami.
Can hope to just bank on
So
that.
maybe that's what we do. Well, I mean, they're probably also going to hear news of it, I'd imagine.
Something, something,
An
something.
entire household wiped out in the middle of a night from that their child happened to be at, and they
Well,
knew
it's
they
the
were sending
people
a
that.
message.
Well, it's the people that stole the
Most of the
groom that
question
they
of like,
wanted.
do you?
I'm just saying we're probably going to have the
Yeah,
news, the regional news is probably going to corroborate our story too,
yeah.
because it's
Whenever it gets around.
yeah, yeah.
Good, yeah.
So,
And maybe Duder in charge can give us something too. I don't know. Anyway. Hello?
yes.
Hi.
So,
Oh,
what
sorry.
you guys determined on your course?
Yeah, I think so.
All
To
right.
head to the
Do
town to the
do do
southeast.
do do do. I am swiftly drawing that map, which might be why I am stalling with my mouth. But what is the riveting conversation as you step through the step that day?
So tell us about your bride, bro. That's gonna make you talk. Sorry.
I mean, he's like, oh, she's very lovely. Her family owns vast tracts of land.
Mm, she sounds perfect.
Oh, she is
Huge.
tracts of land.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta love a girl with big holdings.
but yes, he tells you that she's very fiery in nature, and that she even, does a little pottery on the side, and she's very adventurous, but she's ready to settle down. And he's an archer, and sometimes it wins little contests, so he's very excited about that. She says that she will teach him.
Awful cute.
So, um,
What do you think the reaction will be to you coming in?
he's like, well, of course it will be grand because I mean, I'm supposed to be there, and I'm sure everyone was very sad when I didn't arrive.
Probably.
And he's like, why do you say it like you don't think that?
Hmm?
That wasn't a very convincing probably.
Oh, well, people are weird sometimes, that's all.
He's like, but not my dearly beloved or her family, or my new home.
Have you met them? Well, they know it's you.
He's like, yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
I'm not marrying a girl sight unseen. It's not like
This isn't a mail order groom situation.
yeah.
I'm just making sure.
So, loading. I'm loading. Also, while you walk through the step, there is an attempt made to passively forage by your boy Bolade.
Nice.
Farm boy.
So
He's the Peter to my Katniss.
first, I'm going to roll. Okay. And then I'm going to roll Peter. Okay, so he does find +1 starch. So,
He finds a potato.
you arrive. There's also some Hulano nomads as you come up into these hills, this rise in the steppe. A subtle rise it is, but eventually becomes pronounced. And you find yourself in the before the Hall of Jami. And there's like a big Ulano nomad camp outside. And Grom the groom is very hyped to be here. And he says, oh, yes, yes. And he leads you to the house of his bride. Where okay, so there are there are like 2 olive orchards, a lot of central farmland, and there is like a large marble hall, the Hall of Jami, and the rest of it is sort of like spread. And these 3 houses are like the compound of the family that he is marrying into. His wife emerges, his bride to be emerges and says, It's you! You finally returned! And you can see that the parents come out a little skeptical before they see the box of ivory, and then they're like, oh, okay, this is legit. And then they accept it, and there is a great amount of greeting and hugging and kissing, and you are invited in, as he explains, they are the people who saved me. My family sent them to save me. And after a great amount of agreement, you are brought in and feasted until you are fat, as they
Yes.
ply you with all manner of olive and beef and loaf. Set yourself to 3 on all vectors.
All you have to do is everything rich people want from you, and you live so well. That's how I know this is a fantasy game.
Yeah, so after this, the Eltail, the Eltian, the Elaus, which is what Eltail spouses are, they propose, we must have you to Our Lady at the hall, to have you married at once.
To the groom, yeah?
Yeah, and the groom
Yeah, okay.
is like,
Just
should we
making
wait for
sure.
my family? She's like, no, no. The danger, my boy, will only be fully past once this is over. I'm sure these brave heroes can carry word of your marriage. And
Absolutely, a little bit of proof wouldn't help, or would help.
Yes.
and he gives you the anklet, and of course, we will send you
Oh
an
yeah, there you
official
go.
announcement tablet.
Dope.
Yes, that would
And,
work.
That's
and
perfect.
they say, and of course, we can have it notarized by the roller of the
Oh hell yeah.
scribe at the Hall of Jami, and all will know it is legitimate and not just some scratched reed work of some passerby forger. Yes,
That's
yes.
amazing.
So they all very swiftly agree that you must come with them to the Hall of Jami, one
Oh
hill
fuck yeah, they're
over.
giving us everything we need in life. Yep.
Yeah, so you guys join them.
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
The Ulano nomads do kind of note that your group is in town, mutually across a great distance. You join the wedding party, and you are bundled off to a great marble-pillared hall. You scent burning incense as you are brought below into this, fine entry chamber where you see there's a small shrine to the 3 gods and a gathering of idols, the house spirits sent between the different towns, representing, you see one representing an oasis father representing Tamaka, and bird and animal spirits representing other places, and the idol of Curlhorn. And as you come through into like the main living chambers of the palace, you are conducted into the main area where you meet Benera Jami, the ruler of the right of Jami. Hers is a young domain, but founded by her grandmother. But it's shaping up. 3 villages and a palace ain't nothing to laugh at. And this fine civilizational monument has been raised in living memory, and they're all very happy to have you here. And
Can't believe I didn't want to come here. I need to be more open to experiences.
so, you guys are so the newlyweds are sort of like conducted off into one of the side chambers for pre-wedding purposes. There is one priest of Zom and one priest of Oosh here permanently. They do not yet have a permanent priesthood, about which she is somewhat embarrassed given the lack of divine femininity in the place, but she's compensating. There's lots of braziers and fire and talks of justice and hunting people down. But most notably, let me just go grab the party. So the party as it is conducted and also I need to give Olay would be up 1 blood, yeah?
Yeah.
And Aboji would also be up 1 blood.
Oh, I should be out.
And so, you're all here. Everyone who isn't Nikos is at full stamina.
I'm also up 1.
No, the
Give me a
heat went away because you slept.
Oh yeah, no, not the heat, the blood.
Yeah, but you put up your... Yeah, alright. So,
Oh, it's already up. It was already up.
you are conducted by royalty, and you are in, like, the central chambers, right? And, there is some, like, brilliant, like, red paint and clay that adorns a lot of the stuff, but it is mostly white stones. You note that it is largely not marble, but, you know.
I'll never tell.
Yeah, there's a lot of fronting.
When I have the opportunity, I would like to talk to priests and also the leader lady if I feel like it's
No, well, the leader lady
appropriate.
actually says, "Come, ye heroes, fresh from
Cool.
the field."
I want to ask
And
him about the symbol I saw when the moment is right. I just don't want to forget about it.
Oh, the star medal.
Yeah.
so you're looking for your moment, right? And
Yeah.
you're conducted into a side chamber. But as you like travel around this zone and you learn of its zoneliness, and
The zonosity, the
Yeah.
zonitude.
so you all find yourselves in this side chamber. And there is a priest of Zom, who is, conducting some important stuff, and says, "I shall return. I shall return with the needed elements from the shrine to begin my part of the preparations for the marriage." And so there's like a big double door open closer, and more or less there is, right? There are several guards around here. They don't have like many, but they have a few. And you are in like a side lounge, and there is like an incense chamber, and there is like a resting cushioned chamber in the main area, right? And guards, very swole guards, guard the doors to anywhere like further out to the south, right? There is a slender hoss man who is the old hero, Orton. There is the jealous cousin, Vibara. There is the this is slender. Sorry, where is the slender male I'm thinking of? Come now.
Oh my.
Here is the slender unfit male. There is the gentle wisdom Kraukon. There is the dutiful servant Rakiki. And they quickly decide they will be a guest of honor. And the guest of honor is a hero of fallen care. A woman known for her exploits. Korana. All of these people are in the next room. You are in this room. The door to the south is shut. You're like trying to talk to Banera about like star metal, and she's like, "Oh, I'm very intrigued." And you say there's star metal in my domain, and yada yada yada, right? And there's a shriek, and Banera comes into the next room, and Corona, the fallen hero of Care, lies dead on the ground. Everyone's looking at each other. You guys were in the room with the queen when this happened, and the priest of Zalm comes rushing in and says, "Halt! What is this?" And the servant says, "She just drank her wine and then collapsed." And suddenly, the Banera says, "No one move. This is a murder most foul." And then turns to the priest of Zalm, who says, "We must adjudicate the right of the closed room. Queen, can you designate any impossible bystanders who could not have possibly committed the crime?" And she gesticulates to the party. And she says, "I gesticulate them as my impartial investigators." And she says, "Then so it is, by the right of Zalm, none may leave this place until our impartial investigators have determined who the killer is."
Oh no.
Yep. It's a closed room. It's a closed room murder mystery. You have
I'm
four...
poker face now.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm poker face now.
Yeah. So you have 4 people who could have done it. It's quickly ascertained: the jealous cousin, the old hero, the dutiful servant, and the gentle wisdom. An important note about what a gentle wisdom is: wisdoms are males who have been, shall we say, fixed. Cough, cough, eunuchs.
Eunuchs.
Usually men in positions of authority within a community who are considered too valuable to execute or exile, but too potentially authoritative if you do not dry up their liquid masculine essence, so to speak. Normally, wisdoms are like inherited, but in this case, Karkaron, or Karakon, who you were introduced to, came from a place called the Gilded School, which is sort of a place that trains various advisors, usually exporting wisdoms. The jealous cousin, Verbara, was sort of standoffish and so Kokoron was nice. Verbara was a bit rude and was making dagger eyes at Karana. The old hero Orton was trying to play up his accomplishments over hers, and Vakiki is always smiling and has a faintly stained lip and just sort of hovers around. Gives the impression they probably hear everything and answer with a polite nod to everything. So, those are your 4 suspects. And everyone very quickly ascertains that the only time anyone left the resting room for anywhere but the incense chamber was when Verbara retired to the inner hallway. So, there's comings and goings between the resting cushion chamber and the incense chamber, and there is the royal family chambers up here. That, per everyone's stories, only the jealous cousin entered. This door was guarded by guards who we trust absolutely and didn't, no one came and went. So, what the fuck happened? How do you go about this? Do you want to bring someone into the side lounge for questioning? Look for clues?
Yeah. I guess
I would like to look for clues.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
with her wine glass, I guess, right?
yeah, so you
Well, there's a
investigate...
poison somewhere,
You investigate
presumably.
the wine glass. Give me an alchemia... Give me an alchemia sense skill.
Sido's the one with alchemy. I don't think.
I'll give you a medicine. You'll get different information, but I'll give you a medicine.
Yeah, okay, I got medicine, and that was medicine sense. So a 3.
So roll 2d10. Well,
I know nothing.
you don't get shit.
So
So
can I offer it to
yeah.
Saida?
I don't know what her real skill
Oh, you don't know her stats, sorry.
is
Yeah.
because I think that I might have an incorrect. She has to have at least one because she's a medicus. Hold on.
I think she's used it before.
She's definitely
But I
used
do
it
not
before. She definitely
remember.
has it. But she gets shit rolled anyway, so.
Oh, okay.
Bula and Daraka. It's so you investigate that. The comings and goings are really limited to the incense chamber or these royal chambers up by the inner hallway. And again, only one suspect is avowed to have gone there.
Hmm.
So the drinking occurred in the resting cushion chamber and the
Yeah.
incense chamber.
I'm just gonna go take a look at the rooms and see if there's anything.
Sure. What's both of
I
y'all's
mean, maybe
sense?
there's poison vial labeled conveniently in one of them. What's my what now? Sorry,
What's your what
sense.
your sense skill?
3.
Mm-hmm. Bula.
2. So.
All right. Daraka, you as a smith look about and you see that the stuff that she has is pretty nice. There's occasional bits of metal, and it suggests there's a bit of bronze. Just she has some wealth, but perhaps not what you'd hope. And you can tell this royal family chamber is the room that Verbara was staying in, and the royal chambers are the ruler Banera Jami's own hall, like own bedroom,
Okay.
and it seems undisturbed. The inner hallway is like the connection between the two. There's further doors deeper in, but they are barred, and no one could have passed through them without some miraculous trickery. And the royal family chambers over here, where Verbara was staying, Bula, you as a blood magi, somewhat learned, would note that there is. You turn the place over, and you find one fired clay tablet with strange markings. Do either of you have any lingue skill?
No.
Negatory.
Unfortunately, no.
But we can take it out to the room and perhaps
Yeah,
somebody.
you could take it perhaps to
The queen probably
to the
does.
priest or the
The
ruler.
priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you take it out, you show it to the priest,
Mm-hmm.
and the priest, or you summon the priest over, and the priest, they say, um, yeah, okay. They say, this is a tablet describing the search process for heavy souls. This is usually privy information amongst the priesthoods, but it is not unheard of for nobles to possess such information. So, heavy souls are people who can do magic. You know, Bula, that you were found as a child, and more or less, your family the reason you're not, like, in this person's order, right, as, like, a
Mm-hmm.
thaumaturge, is because your family held out for a better deal.
Yeah.
And after you got discovered in the heavy soul search, they held out, got on the bad side of the priesthood of Zom, but a blood magi came around and was like, I hear you have a heavy soul child. I would love to teach them the ways of the blood magi. And your family was like, yes, and then got, like, some heavy sacks of silver out of it.
Hell yeah.
So that's how you got your apprenticeship. So this would let you, assuming you had the people to do the rituals, which would involve heavy souls, you would be able to look for them without waiting for the priesthood to find them.
That would be good information to have, regardless of where we're going in the future.
Of course, you can't read the tablet,
Yes,
and
we cannot.
the priest of Zom, now that you've shown it to them, would probably take it amiss if you kept custody of it longer than you had to. But,
Yeah,
maybe if you're enterprising, you'll find a way to get a copy.
perhaps.
All that to say, you found this in the bedroom of the jealous cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to interrogate a suspect or examine a chamber? You haven't examined the incense chamber yet.
Might as well go and check the incense chamber because what's his face went in
Yeah.
there too, right?
Might as well have all the
You can just go everywhere first.
You
and then
Activate all the
find-
cutscenes before we go to the interviews.
And a bronze dagger. Give me, by the way, a sense metalwork when you examine the room, Daraka.
Sense plus metalwork, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm rolling how many d10s?
2d10.
Alright, so I got a 5.
Did you... Oh, yeah. Alright. So that's one success. Okay, you can tell. It's arsenical bronze. You find arsenical bronze dagger hidden behind a curtain beneath a statue of Banera's grandmother. And there is like an incense pit where, like, you know, where people would sit to like really get close in, and it's almost like a sauna but with curtains, for like reclining. Yes, indeed. And the what are the trade goods? Okay, so incense. I mean, this probably isn't super relevant, but you know, there's some incense in the pit. It's very effective, and it is, in fact, smoke wood. Incense derived from bark that is very long burning. So anybody who's been around it is going to smell of smoke wood pretty distinctly.
Okay. I'm gonna go sniff everybody before I announce that there was a heretical dagger up in this mug.
All right. So you
It's
all
smelling
look
people.
for the and so Bula, you have bad senses, and Daraka, you have average senses. I would
Yes.
say with average senses, it's no trouble, and with below average senses, you probably have to get up on someone. But I think you just leave it to Daraka. You determine that the only person who never got the scent of smokewood on them was Vakiki.
Okay, so Rakika is the only one that's negative for the smell.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I mean, it's you know, going in and out of the incense chamber has been a pretty normal part of the pre-party, so it's not like suspicious. It's honestly a little more suspicious
sure,
that
it's
the
just-
servant
yeah.
never had. I mean, but you know, they are doing servant
It's
shit.
weirder that he didn't go
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are the outlier. Your fellow
Gotcha.
L-tail. A lot of L-tails in this L-tail, Bula.
Oh, what is the cultural significance of the incense room, if any?
It's like a chill place to hang out. It's like rich people do it. You get to smell
Okay.
nice, and
So the
you're
servant going
burning
there to
money.
help, like, bring a beverage or do some assisted task.
Yeah, normally it would be normal for a servant to come in to
Gotcha.
either wait on you or maybe bring you like a moistened cloth because you're in a hot place, or yeah, like
Sure.
during the course of serving, it would be almost expected that a servant would get the smell on them. But maybe Vakiki just didn't have any reason to go in there today.
Yeah, maybe she wanted to be left alone in the incense room. You never know. I'm bad at this kind of stuff, so if you have an idea on who you want to interrogate.
We can start with new person. I'm reading the chat.
I'm not trying to shove all the information or
No,
the
that's
decisions
fine.
on you. I'm not good at it. So if you have I'll offer opinions, but I'm at a bit of a loss, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
fine.
why I jumped at the looking at clues.
Let's see. We'll go with
I do want to tell the ruler lady that
Mhm.
there was heretical steel
And
I'd tell her on the down low in our side lounge.
she's like, that's abhorrent. And
I'll hand it to her, and I'm holding it like, ew, gross. I don't want to
Does
touch it.
she? Does she? Is she
she,
like actually like grossed out by it, or
Oh yeah,
give me a sense society.
oh you hate me?
right. I'm
She
not
seems
good.
genuinely surprised. If she's lying, she's a good
Yeah,
actress.
that's no.
If she's lying and acting surprised, she's a good actress.
Yeah.
Should
All
I
right.
turn it over to one of your priests? I don't. What would be the? What, I guess I don't have to ask. What would be the proper thing to do with it? As a
Um, she says if it's. She looks at it and she says, it doesn't look like pure arsenical silver, but still, if there is any arsenic in it, it is somewhat unclean. Um, it is going to have to be handled by the priesthood of Zom, so the priest of Zom will be informed. I will tell them after all of this has proceeded.
I
Unless
will.
you think it's relevant to the current investigation,
It possibly
It could
is.
be.
then we should call in the priest of Zom and reveal it to them.
All
I'm
right.
assuming nobody, blanches at that. They come in and they say, "Oh
No, because
my."
the priest is not one of the four, right? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not one of the potential culprits because they were
Yeah.
they were out of the room they were completely outside of the chambers at the time.
They're as likely to be innocent as we are,
Yeah. So
because they
by
were
the
in the room.
rules of innocence being used by this that empowers you,
Gotcha.
yeah. They take a look in a book, reading Rainbow, and they
Oh
say,
no.
after a closer inspection, they say, "I see," and they say, "Who identified this as arsenical?
I did.
You must have a very fine eye. Are you a smith?
I am.
You must be very familiar with the metals." Yes. Huh. And where did you say you found this?
It was in the incense room. Was a statue.
There's
Oh my
below a
goodness.
statue of Banera's mother, the
Below a
founder of
statue
this
of
realm.
Banera's mother,
Grandmother, I should say, yeah. Uh,
grandmama,
and she
Mima, if you will.
and Banera says, "And why would it be below Grandmama's statue?" And Priest of Zom says, um, "Perhaps symbolically, the person who left it there expected her to keep it hidden. It is possible whoever was wielding this weapon didn't realize, unless they are trained in the way of alchemia or a smith themselves, that it is heretical metal. However, it does imply that they are cheap, because usually one finds these things being sold low price." They waggle
Mm.
their brows.
They
A troublesome
waggled their
clue,
brows.
especially considering we've already found information that should be kept in the hands of the priesthood and the select few at the head of society, they say with deference to Banera. "I will remain in the main chamber until my expertise is further required, but I will away with this weapon and can
Yes.
provide it in the event that it is necessary evidence."
I cannot hand it over fast enough. I
Yeah.
don't want to be touching it either.
So that proceeds, and yeah, you got 4 people to interrogate.
I think the first person to start with would be Verbara because they left. They're the only person that left.
All right,
Sure.
you bring Verbara in, and she says, "Cousin, you can't seriously believe," and Banera says, "Just talk to them." And she says, "Fine." She looks very cross.
We're
She says,
gonna talk to everybody. It doesn't mean we think you did it.
"Very well, but you haven't been through my things, have you? I saw you enter the royal chambers."
Anyway,
That's not an
Just
answer. Come now. I am a member of this household. And Banera says, she kind of seems like,
sometimes silence is the answer.
She says, "You have to give my cousin an answer. Have you been through her things? You have been empowered. It is not a crime to do so."
Well, it seemed rude to say. I didn't. She's kind of scary. I don't want to say it to her face. Yeah, we went through.
yes, we did.
And the jealous cousin seems proud that she scared you. And she said, and Alexandra says, "Fine." And she says, "Well, ask your questions."
All right. You're the only person that left the room. Please explain
I'm the only
what
person who has
er
chambers in
to
the
the
royal wing of the palace who was out in the room. I am a member of the house, as I've reiterated, while I am visiting my dear cousin Benera, rightful ruler of Jami. I have the use of a suite, and you've been inside the room, so you know it's quite nice. During the pre-party, I went to put on a little bit of jewelry, and she gesticulates to a like a blue gemstone or a blue-looking stone necklace that she has on a linen cord.
yeah, sure.
And she says, "I don't usually have it on because you never know. You don't want a stone bounce around on your neck if you have to leap into an occasion like battle,
Indeed, but if
such
the
as my
wedding's
fiery
happening, you
nature.
know.
But
Well,
I
good.
figured since we were getting ready for a wedding, we wouldn't have concerns of death. And now a hero of care is gone. So few of them remain," she says, looking into the middle distance through a slit window.
Um, does
Of that.
I mean, I hate to say insight check, but I
So,
have no better word for it.
sense society is going to
Sure.
be what that would be here.
And the default's 2d10?
Yep. You gain a
Okay.
heat for the extra dice.
Yeah, she's a dragon lady. Oh, Lord. Where's my freaking... There it is. I can gain a heat, you say, or I do gain a
Yes, you
heat?
can. If you want the third dice.
She's not really tripping anything. I kind of just want to do it. I just want a simple little sniff test.
Well, fortunately, that's not what
And,
Araka's meant to do.
nope.
She's made for
I'm,
killing and fighting
I
and
am
not getting shot.
out of my element. But I'm giving it the old college try.
Jealous cousin
Yep.
Verbara. Yeah. So
Seems the hoity-toity rich bitch sounds about right to me.
her story about why she went to the royal chamber seems to check out. Do you have anything
Hmm.
else that you ask her?
Do I? It's such a magnificent necklace. Do I remember seeing it before she left when I was introduced to her?
No, you don't remember her
That's
wearing it.
okay. So
You,
that is checking out as
yeah, it
well.
seems to check out. At the very least, she didn't have it on when you were
Sure.
brought to the side chamber.
So I have one, yes. What is your relation to the deceased?
And she says, "Oh well, I mean, we of
Murdered.
Jami are of course also heroes of care after a fashion. I knew Corona, fairly well as anyone. I mean, she was a great hero. Older, obviously, and she had slain many Talik. And she and I actually were in the same battle against a group of Talik nomads once, sent by the vile pharaoh. She kind of spits out the window at the name
Uh,
pharaoh, and she
yes.
says, but we were never terribly close. Frankly, I was hoping to get closer to her at this party, and well, she trails off.
You said another one dead. Is that just a reference to the deaths on the battlefield, or is this not the first murder of one of the heroes you've
And she says, "Oh,
been
it's
aware of?
just." So she says, "I see. I know you are Ushinari, but the Kingdom of Care fell in living memory, um, and so." She shrugs. The heroes have passed because there can be no more until Care
Mm,
rises once again. So,
indeed.
but there's not like a rash of killings of them or any
Okay.
such thing. It's just that they've either
Which is good
retired
news.
or
I wanted to declare.
indeed.
Excuse me. I'm not as cultured.
Indeed.
So we
Well,
and
I'd
as
love
you
to
said,
share
from
the
another land.
heritage, the warrior queen
So
heritage,
diplomatically,
with our
from
visitors.
another land.
Yes. So that's the whole Verbara situation. Any other questions?
Mm,
No, I'm kind of thinking she's
I think
cool.
that's yeah.
Bloop. All right, put her back out. Who are you calling next?
You want to get the wisdom?
I kind of want to take the servant last. So yeah,
He
the
comes
wisdom
in with
next.
an awkward smile and kind of wipes his brow, looks serious, and says, "Hello. What ill tidings to greet you on? How can I be of assistance?"
Mm,
Can you remind me which room was he one that had gone to a room?
he had been
So,
to the incense
The
chamber.
incense
yeah.
chamber? Okay.
Yeah, so he had been to the incense chamber and he had been nowhere else. Yeah, in the main room. The only exceptional room travel is Verbara going to the royal chambers and Vakiki not entering the incense chamber, or at least not smelling
Gotcha.
of it.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. I think, yeah. Uh, so did you ever see anybody go behind the statue when you were in the incense chamber?
Important note: it was behind a curtain below a statue, not behind a
Behind a
statue.
curtain below a
And so,
statue.
but you ask about that particular statue, and he says, "No, I can't recall anyone drawing close to it. Most of us were deep into the incense chamber. We were expecting a long day in the gentle heat of Ha's blessing from above. So we wanted to have our scent strongly set to that of the smokewood before events transpired. We weren't expecting a long day of incense, so we were getting it strong. Mostly we sat in the pit, although he rubs his chin. I suppose Ortan did spend a little bit longer up by the western rim, which would have been close to the statue. I wasn't in there the whole time, so I couldn't say if anyone did at any point. I don't see why they would, though.
That's fair. That's very helpful, I think. I'm going to do the thing.
Yep. 2d10.
Mhm.
You did like a 1, don't you, Aardvark? What's your society?
-1. I need
And your
a
sense is
2.
2, right?
No, my sense is 3.
Oh, okay. You needed it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bula, feel
I mean,
free
they're
to
not great odds, but it's easy to do. Why not? You
Bula,
know?
feel free to roll as well. But
When I'm really worried about trying to suss something out, I'll gain a heat.
yeah. So that's sort of that section of the story from Karal Khan. What do you say otherwise?
Hmm. What is your relation with Corona?
And you kind of
How do you know them?
smiles and says, "Well, I am a very well educated advisor. I know all of the notables from the various wars across the region.
Mhm.
I served once, years ago, in Queen Hall, in fact. All that was before this, though. And I am very happy to be here," he smiles.
So, because you know all this stuff, is there somebody that would maybe have it up for this particular hero?
He says, I can hardly think that anyone would want to act against Korana, but, well, you know that Orton, the old hero, uh, feels that their own deeds against the Pharaoh and slaying of their commanders were never really properly honored, and Verbara has long, well, and Benera says, "Speak freely," and he says, "Well, to tell you the truth, Verbara never really took kindly to Korana, as she felt upstaged by both her own sister and Korana, and she felt as if though, well, I don't want to cast doubt on anyone."
Would it not make it more difficult for her to attain the spotlight once her sister was martyred? And
Well,
given
that's
it,
not her.
wouldn't that raise
Well,
the mythology of her
Karan
even further?
points to Benera and says, "Well, her sister is right here.
Oh, well,
Korana,
forgive me.
Korana, as a hero of old care, sort of overshadowed those in her company. And to be honest, the days where she could lead from the front were starting to fade. So it's not like she was going to be an asset on the battlefield."
Are you implying that maybe she's a suspect as the victim is a suspect as well?
No, I'm saying Verbara would have
Okay.
reason to get rid of Korana because the jealous cousin wants to get rid of the hero of Fallen Care because she wants advancement, and right now she's locked out of it because her cousin runs the
Oh,
place. And the old hero feels like Corona got more credit than she was due, and Orton never got his due. And both of
gotcha.
them are willing to bump her off because she's at the point where arthritis and Bronze Age, um, healthcare are starting to mean. I mean, she was still probably good for a fight now, but like, is she still going to be a
A
year from
month
now?
from
You know what I
now.
mean?
Year
So
from
it's
now.
not like you were going to be taking a heavy hitter off the roster to knock her off. But she was soaking up a lot of glory and command and position,
Mm.
and there isn't that much to go around.
What happens to the servant when their whatever the proper word for is murdered or
Well, bear in
dead?
mind, all of these the servant works for Banera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Corona is sort of like a guest, a long-term guest of Banera, but everyone is either a guest or working for Banera.
Gotcha.
So like Karakaron is her advisor, the servant is her servant, and these three, her cousin, the old hero, and Corona are kind of like the military heads who are strictly speaking guests in her
And
hall,
they're instead of
but
a love triangle, we have a murder triangle.
but they were kind of like they would be expected to defend her if she was attacked. You know what I mean? If there was a battle
Sure.
here, like if there's any military matter, these three would be expected to like kind of lead the troops to an extent under Banera. So in a sense, these are kind of like the three military captains, two of whom
Gotcha.
are quite old. So yeah, Corcoran just shrugs and says, "Sometimes the young make their own way when the old will not get out of it,
True.
and sometimes the old, looking at the end of a bitter life, decide to even what they have decided is an odd score."
Indeed.
So that is Karakon's opinion. Do you have any other questions for them? From?
I don't think so.
I got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time to bring in the next person then, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We can just go down the list and go with our time then.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the grizzly old man in here.
Yeah, so he trundles out. You bring in Arton, who kind of puffs up his chest and say, "To think Corona would be denied death in battle. It is a shame. Surely we must punish horribly whoever has done this."
Ah, son of a bitch. That's a perfect opportunity for me to make the. I'm gonna spend a heat, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna roll, but I doubt I'll get it.
Bollocks! I didn't get it. No,
I need like a 1
I need to
or
have the
something.
heat.
Do you? What's your sense?
My sense is 2. My
Society-
society is -1.
Oh my
Mhm.
god. Yeah, so for context, these party's not been built for his ridiculous role, but it's very funny.
I'm solving a mystery.
So you're not sure if he's sincere or hamming it up.
How are the um?
By the way, you do know
How's he?
when
Sorry, go ahead.
Korokoron leaves,
Yeah.
he kind of like tries to hide it, but he has like a bit of dry skin flake problem, and it kind of like leaves a little behind him.
Man, that's
Gross.
okay, man. Well,
But
they don't really have shade
gross,
butter
but
around these
important.
parts.
Yeah, so
Oh.
Orton is he's here, he's crotchety. He's actually got quite wet skin, almost too wet.
He's a
Which
very
is-
moist
That's
man.
worse.
He's got flop sweat. Oh, he's guilty. Is he? How are his clothes? Are his clothes more?
His clothes are very smoky.
But are they like? Is he wearing like old? Like, have they been mended? Whereas everybody else is wearing like you know, does he look like he might be a little down on his money, like he would need to have a bargain on a knife that he was planning
Oh
to
yeah,
murder somebody
I
with?
understand.
He's wearing. He has like a bronze medallion, which is, I
Sure.
mean, it's bronze. And he has like a bronze sword, but
Okay.
otherwise it looks like, yeah, he has a nice linen, um,
It's nice. It's
dyed
just not the
blue.
level of
He
everybody
has like an
else's.
indigo, actually almost Ushinari colored tunic,
Oh,
but like,
it's a few seasons out of style.
yeah, it's clearly been like ripped and like he's taking good care of it, but over the years
Sure.
it's just molded. So yeah, he's wearing
So
old
he's
clothes. He's an old man.
sure. It could be nothing. It could be that he's putting on the airs of still being
Yeah, and I
wealthy.
mean, yeah, he probably got the medallion a long time ago and
Maybe
the
he's
sword
just
as well.
frugal.
Yeah,
Well,
and I mean, those metal weapons can last a long time and get
it's
reforged.
just yeah. It's just spice for the recipe.
Yeah, so he asks like, and what would you ask of me?
Hmm. What
Um,
what were you doing, or do you remember anyone getting near Korana that may have poisoned her?
Just no, no, he he
who's serving who's serving the glasses? Who handed out the glasses to
he
people?
says,
Uh,
well, we all were having drinks, especially in the incense room. Vaikiki brought out the drinks.
okay.
In the incense room?
No, Vaikiki brought out the drinks into the resting cushion chamber.
Oh
Nobody
man,
wanted to push, but
I thought
it
I had
se-
him caught in a
it
lie.
seemed like Vakiki kept not entering the incense chamber.
That's yeah. She doesn't
And
smell of
so
the of the.
we took carafes and we took because like they were brought out in like carafes more or less. So
Yeah.
we brought our own
Sure.
carafes in. I would say we took turns bringing in carafes to the incense chamber.
I hear you spent a lot of time on the by that entrance. What were you doing over there?
He's like, "Oh well, my old lungs don't agree with getting too close to the smoke wood these days. I still wanted to smell good. Uh, I get a bit sweaty on days like these, and no one wants to be giving the wrong scent at a wedding. Bad form, especially after you heroes have returned. I look forward to the story. A shame Korana will not hear it in full."
Indeed.
What was your relationship with Korana like?
Oh, back in the day, we fought the Pharaoh's soldiers when they came to suppress the Care remnant. I wasn't quite deemed a hero of Care, but I was around, and I bounced around all sorts of conflicts and zones, and occasionally we would be on the same side. We never fought against each other. It was nice to catch up and talk old war stories with someone else who'd been there. Not many of us left, and now there's one fewer.
Mm.
Hmm.
Do you know who gave her the last drink?
He thinks about it. And he says, I remember Verbara. Uh, I remember Verbara handing her a drink, and I remember Karakon polishing the glasses. They weren't they're goblets.
Hang
The
on.
cups.
The vessels.
Yeah. So, that's what Arton remembers about the custody of drinks. But he's like, that's the last round of drinks we had, assuming that's where the fell poison was slipped. Assuming poison indeed it was, for I can imagine no other cause of death, then he shrugs.
Silver bar and conic polishing glass.
Can we have their person searched, or do they have anywhere to like?
Yeah, I mean, you could have them, like, expose their various stuff they have on them.
Yeah. I think we should have been.
You want to do that before or after you interview Vakiki?
I mean, I guess do it after.
We can search. We can also just search
Oh.
him now while we have him and think about that. Thought about
True.
that.
All right. So do you send Orton out? Do you have any more questions for him?
We're gonna search him, see if he has
Empty
any
your
like.
pockets, please, sir.
He's a little indignant about it, but
It's important to find the murder.
you find...
Apologize for any stings, but you're doing it in private. Nobody else is ever gonna know. Small vial labeled "not poison."
There's a little sliver in his pouch and a small blade for cooking. Otherwise, he's not really trying to disguise anything. He doesn't have much in the way of wealth on him.
All right. That's enough with him, I believe, right?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you bring
Then-
Vakiki?
Yeah, the Kiki's turn.
Their hair is slicked back, and they have a cold, level smile, and they bow to you, and they say, "How may be a service, my ruler, and the dear investigators?" Monera says, "Answer all their questions and submit to their searches should they offer any." "Of course, my ruler." So, they look at you with a slender smile.
So,
Why didn't you want to go into the incense room?
yes, that.
Wakiki said, "Oh, well, it's not that I didn't have any desire, but it seemed inappropriate of me to begin perspiring so early in the wedding day. I will be expected to make many trips around the palace to make all of the last-minute preparations the family has asked me to hastily restore from a dormant state." Indeed, I was only staying here with the captains, the queen, and our honored new heroes, in case I could be of service. But after the queen was adjourned meeting with you, I was intending to head across the palace post-haste.
Vikiki, who was the last person to provide drink or food for Corona?
He says, well, I suppose the last carafe was carried in by Verbara. I would have brought the drinks in myself if asked, but they seemed content to carry those in and drink from their own vessels within. I was the steward of the beverages and food. Sometimes I was the only person in the room with them at all.
Were they ever alone without you in the room?
No. No, I had nowhere to be but the resting cushioned chamber all this time.
How well do you know Corona, Vikiki?
Karana, the fallen hero of care?
Yes.
Oh, I know of them. She has very expensive tastes, which I have, of course, been directed to accommodate, and she sometimes develops sores on her feet, for which certain ointments are called. And she's broadly speaking the health possessed of the old, which is to say she has her aches, and she likes to dull them with drink and incense. She is very much like a fine racehorse. She was very much like a fine racehorse, old in age, having achieved much, and then coming to need much. And Benera kind of like cocks a brow at them, and they say, "Forgive me, my liege, if I misspeak, but I felt it best to be totally honest with the investigators. They must find the truth, so they must know the truth. Of course, she was a very honorable woman, and I defer to her deeds completely."
I'm sure, despite your best efforts and decorum, you hear things
Well,
perhaps not meant for your ears. And without getting into details on that, if you were to hazard a guess of the other three, who do you think would be most likely to have ended the hero's life?
based upon the words I have heard bandied, particularly while they are drunk, I think Ortan resented Korana more. But I think Verbara had more fire yet in her and reason. This only based, of course, off of unparticular hearings. And as for the gentle wisdom himself, Karakhan, well, he's not a man to externalize his thoughts unless asked. And he only really answers our dear ruler, they say with a bow to Benera.
So he wouldn't have the motivation of the others to potentially move up.
No, he's a wisdom. I'm not sure how it is in Ushanar, but when a man's liquid nature has been dried and so delivered away, he is removed from the hierarchy of status. The best a wisdom can hope for is to be an advisor, and an advisor he was. Indeed, he is the chief advisor and sole advisor of my dear ruler. And Benera says, yes, he is the only person whose job is purely to advise. I have other people who can do things like farm as well as advise me on agriculture, or... And she goes on, and she seems a little defensive about it, but she says, yes, Karakhan is my only dedicated advisor. And he wasn't cheap to hire either, so it's not like I'm stingy in the advisor department.
I don't think there's anything wrong with advisors. I think it's a mark of strength to admit you're not perhaps the most knowledgeable and seek out those who are.
Yes, absolutely. And Karakhan is incredibly knowledgeable on all subjects, from metallurgy to alchemia to agriculture to logistics. Not much direct warfare experience, but Benera shrugs and says, well, I belabor the point. Vakiki says, yes. All this to say that Verbara had openly spoken of motive, or motivation that was tangible. Orton had openly spoken of motive of desire. And between the two, I would say Verbara was the more likely to actually do it. But I wouldn't expect it to be poison from Verbara. The dutiful servant kind of like strokes their chin, leans back, looks into the sun, and says, she and Orton are really more of stabbing people. Maybe a hunting accident? Although I suppose Verbara has been corresponding with strange people. And Benara says, what? Well, you told me not to pry, but... You know, a courier comes and goes and has a little extra for someone. Why is this the first I'm hearing of this? And Waikiki says, well, it's just that the last time some Ulano passed through, I couldn't help but notice she had a clay tablet she didn't used to. I didn't see much of it. Couldn't make sense of it.
Oh, it's Piranhas.
Insight. It seems Verbara obtained that tablet about how to seek out heavy souls from Ulano, per the story of dutiful servant Vakiki. And dutiful servant Vakiki says, I take it I should begin to speculate about your cousin to you in future? I didn't mean to hold anything back. I was only following your orders. And Benera waves her hand and says, we'll discuss this later.
Ooh. Keep trouble. Could we see what's on your person, please?
Certainly. And Vakiki has a small knife for cutting cords and food that would hardly stab into a person without breaking, made of copper. And aside from that, they have 2 writing tablets and a stele, in case I need to take notes. And they do have 1 half-written tablet that seems to make sparse notes with symbols used euphemistically and sentences left half-written.
She got her own shorthand, basically.
Yes, they have their own shorthand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, day, sorry.
So you can tell because their head is a square.
Square, square.
It's not a triangle like a woman.
Well, I know, but
Triangles, yeah.
ba-boom. I mean, I got nothing else for this lady. Or this person, good God.
Yep. Do you, alright, so you send them out.
No.
Do you retroactively search, Karakon and Verbara?
That would be dope, yeah. Save us the
Verbara
awkwardness.
has a
Call them
copper thrust dagger. And Karakon has no hidden item or weapon whatsoever.
Is there anything remarkable about her thrust dagger? Like, is this clearly Verbana's thrust dagger? Or is it just like...
It's just it's a pretty common...
Just regular...
The kind of thing that you would have looted, you know?
It's not a custom order thing, it's a...
No, I mean, it's made of copper, not bronze, so, like, it would be...
Gotcha.
I mean, they like, bend and break so fast.
You go down to Stab Mart and you get a box of them for, like...
Yeah, so this is a common dagger that does its job.
Okay.
There's nothing remarkable about the hilt or anything else with it. So she kind of...
So less of a need for a ghost dagger, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yes. The Vaikiki and... So Vaikiki's, like, little thing, and also Orton's probably wouldn't really do the job of killing someone. Karakon has nothing, no weapon whatsoever which he would use, and Verbara straight up has like a dagger. So, Orton, Verbara, and Karana had their main weapon on them anyway. So, like, you know, they have swords.
I
They
gotcha.
wanted to stab each other. So, with everyone interviewed and searched, do you have any additional...
I can't really think of a motive for the wisdom.
He's the hardest to read, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we'll ever figure out.
Yeah, so I could mention all of their careers briefly.
Yes.
Verbara, mostly stuck under thumb of family, not getting much opportunity to prove herself, getting even less after Orton and Karana arrive. Karakon. Was a leader. What's the made a eunuch at the gilded school after his town fell. Served at Queen Hall to the Queendom of Care. After it falls, drift, wind up here. Oraton, hero, mercenary, at the edge of Care Society. Not very credited due to flitting in and out of fighting for the realm, but did some damage to Pharaoh's leaders. Karana, noted careerist in service to Care until it fell, continued to fight the Pharaoh's mercs afterwards. Bakiki, child of scribes from Tamaka. They got them a nice gig here. So, that's sort of the relevant career knowledge.
Okay, so, I mean, Karkon and Vikiki are kind of a bit off the table for me, I guess.
I want to say the same.
Yeah.
Personally, I do think it's between Arklon and Verbara.
Your Highness,
But
who was next in line?
She says
Things.
if I were need to be seceded right now, given that I am childless, then it would be Verbara.
Yeah, I guess what I meant was who was with. Wait, did Karana have a position with the?
she was like a
She was a captain, but she was never gonna rise to lead, and she was too old
Okay,
to
and
do it
the old
anyway.
hero was never gonna get that job.
Yeah, so
And Verbosa, okay, so okay,
The only-
I
the
for
only
some
person
reason I had a promotion
yeah.
was in a motivation, but it's not.
The only like the motivation for promotion that really matters is Verbara.
Yeah.
Of the military three, she's the person who has the most left to climb, because it's kind of like a dick measuring esteem thing, and she has more stuff ahead of her and opportunities that would depend on what she'd done lately
Okay.
or what she could acquire.
And she might be trying to find some heavy souls to like be a boon for the queendom, or maybe to start her own, maybe to start a coup.
Yeah, I mean, Verbara could theoretically have knocked off someone she didn't like because it would build her power base. But, like, if Banera died, she would be the undisputed ruler of Jami. So, like, if you're gonna kill someone...
Right, yeah, why kill her? Okay.
I mean,
I don't
maybe
know,
she...
man.
You know, there's lots of reasons that she might have wanted to do it more slowly.
I just want to
But...
make a save file and just accuse everybody until I get the right one, and then reload.
So, Karkin was polished on glasses, and Barbara did
That's
hand
true.
Karana a drink.
That's
so
true.
We
Do
can
you
also
want to
circle
ask your
back.
companions what they think?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Okay.
Particularly Aboji.
Alright, so here's a Boji, so let's roll 2d10. Oh, Boji has 2 in society, as a 1 society, I forgot.
So that 3 hits? No, because you have sense 5.
Just sense 5 and 1 in
So
society,
she couldn't fail
double
it.
succeeds.
Oh no, it's 2d10s, never mind. So
So she says,
boy, if my character dies, I'm taking over Aboji. She's the fucking goat.
if it was one of the military types, then it was Rabara. but I think it was the servant or the wisdom. Neither are entirely honest.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, then that might be the wisdom, because Vikiki did point to both the military ones and say they would be more prone to stabby.
oh wait, that was
He was
2d20.
also.
Oh, 2d10.
Maybe one of them was planning on doing it with the heretical dagger, which my money's on Orton. Because why buy heretical at all if you're not looking for a deal? Shit's nasty.
Who can say why those with such too much resort to such horrors, says Bolade. And Nikos says, I think it was a man. Think about it. A liquid. Killing. Masculine in nature.
Oh, fuck, dude!
The aperture of the vessel. Round. Masculine in nature. The fouling of a liquid aspect. Masculine in nature. He kind of like looks around shiftily.
Takes one to know one, but I'm gonna give him like a playful slug on the shoulder.
He says, thank you. Yeah. So, Nikos thinks it was a man. Iboji doesn't think it was the military. And Bolade has no fucking idea.
So kind of based on our companions, we think it's Karakon. Then
Yeah.
we can bring it back in and ask him about the polishing he did.
Yeah, do you want to come bring him in and ask about the polish?
Before we do that,
What?
could we ask Saida about what sort of concoction might be able to be, like, given rubbed on a
She
vessel
get
like
a
that?
3, I'm going to say. Alright, so Saita's alchemical analysis. Alchemical analysis, is what the kid would say.
Alchemical. You can call me Al.
She inspects she's like the goblet, and she says there appears to be a bit of metallic residue in Corana's goblet. It melded nicely. It wouldn't have stuck there on its own or in reaction to alcohol. This is a toxin. This is a toxic metal mixed with something sticky.
Sorry, I'm a child.
Yeah, and so do you wanna summon someone in?
Fuck yeah.
All right. As you like poke your head out, you do see Karakon is talking to Vikiki, and you bring him in, and he smiles and says, "Hello. How can I assist you?"
First, I'm gonna go out and ask Vikiki if, like, what was Karakhan talking to you about?
He was asking if I had any more of that ointment that Karana was so fond of. He also uses it for his dry skin problem.
I'm gonna go in and look at the drinks area.
Yeah.
Wait, no, never mind. I'm not gonna do
Did you come back
that.
here?
Yeah. See if Saida can identify that metallic thing, smell or whatever, residue like on his fingers or.
Unfortunately, well, she says that if he'd used his fingers directly, it probably would have left a residue unless he really thoroughly washed them. But she can't find any.
Okay.
The Karakon says, "Yes. How may I assist you? Why are you inspecting my fingers? Perhaps I can advise you."
Oh! I don't know, man.
Hmm. Well,
You have not asked him about polishing the
yeah.
vessels, and you have not
So
asked him about his dry skin.
yeah, we'll ask him about the dry skin first. Like, you know,
He says, well, my liquid nature isn't quite as wet as it used to be. So I require ointments and bathing more frequently in order to maintain my hygiene. And yeah, you give me a 2d10 resolve medicine, Bula.
um, my resolve is 3, my medicine is 1, so it gives me a 4, which I made.
All right. Um, so you know that there's a lot of things about you know several of the details about what happens when someone becomes a eunuch, and
Yeah.
that doesn't usually result in their skin drying out. It can happen with age, and
Yeah.
Karakhan isn't young, but if anything, I probably kept him younger to not have the liquid essence, if you will.
Mhm.
Sure, yeah.
So that story doesn't quite square out. Not that he couldn't think that, but it'd be another source of it. But
Hmm. Wow.
Daraka, do you check the drinks area on the way here?
Yeah, I guess.
You would note that there's like some cloths around, and one of them seems like slightly bent, like it's holding its shape more than it should.
Um, I'm gonna look for something that I can pick it up with,
All
because
right, you find a
I don't know nothing about poison.
you
Maybe if I just touch it, it'll kill me.
all right, you find like the stick. You don't
Mhm.
you
Is there
find
any sloughed off skin nearby it?
no, but there's bones because people were eating some chicken, so you have a chicken bone.
Does he have a
Perfect.
chicken bone?
And you walk in with the cloth and chicken bone, and Karakon sees it and says,
Yeah.
"Ah, I see you find the polishing rag."
A polishing rag.
Yes, I was just using a little ointment to polish off some of the cups. I know we weren't going to have time to go over the whole set, given that we only have so many servants. So I was
Where's the
being
ointment?
proactive in spiffing up the ones we had here.
Uh,
I wanted them to shine for the occasion.
The
where's the stuff you were using?
It's just
Behind.
it's the ointment that Vikiki provides to Karana. There was some around. Of course, now I find myself in need of it, he says, pulling at his dried and flaky skin.
mm, mm, trying to think. If you do you still have some of that ointment?
And he's like, no, I don't. Um, I suppose that what's left of it soaked into the rag, he says, gesticulating to the rag Daraka has.
And did you polish all of them?
And just, yes.
Is there evidence of all? Do they all look sufficiently polished, or not sufficiently, but similarly? That's the word I was looking for.
Karana's doesn't look quite the same polish. It seems like Karana's got like halfway done, and the other half was kind of like sumptuary or like a swift one.
I guess it's time to just ask him why is hers.
Mhm.
He says, "Oh well, we were drinking, and she wanted her beverage, so I just finished it off. We'd already had the wine poured by that point, so why hold up a nice drink?"
Wait, so you were Oh, she didn't have it served yet, right? Just making sure.
He was like, yeah, so like it was being poured
Yeah.
by
Other people were.
yeah, so Verbara poured it for Karana, the last one, and Karakon at the
Yes.
time was spiffing them up as it was being poured, and it was in a smoky room.
Yeah. I guess time to look at the rag. Just kind of like. Did you already
Yeah.
sniff test it?
Yeah,
I mean, I did, but like hand it to Saida too, I guess.
yeah. So the full analysis here really comes out to the ointment would have been a sufficient agent to make the toxic metal dust stick,
Okay.
and that would explain it not.
So,
If you just put it on, it would have been more obvious.
gotcha.
Mhm.
But by keeping it like stuck in the rim, it would also take it longer for her to drink it and take longer for it to act, giving you more delay. So it wouldn't be like you hand her the glass and she immediately dies.
So, I think, Your Highness, we should send him out of here.
And Korokon, he steps out.
I mean, based off everything, we've seen and said and talked, I'm starting to feel like maybe it is the wisdom. It's the male, it's the liquid thing, he was polishing it, the polish is the perfect medium for the poison.
Duraka Session 1. Bolade, it's very cancelable of you to be talking about the elemental genders. Duraka, end of Session 2. So yeah, I think that it was his masculine nature that led him to commit the poisoning.
That's what the fucking I wasn't saying that's what I thought, I'm just saying like the dude pointed that
That is
out.
what Nikos thought. The guy who you keep leashed up on
Yeah,
a rope as your pet.
yeah,
I'm not saying he's wrong, to be clear. He didn't get a good
no.
roll.
Just because he's a smarmy fuck doesn't mean he doesn't have good insights.
Yeah. So
He's, in fact, the more successful smarmy fuck you are, the more insightful you probably are.
so do you head back out?
Well, I'm running it by the group and Her Highness.
And she says, it's hard to imagine. Unless, of course, he held some ill will against Care for, his fall from power and getting castrated and all that. But it was a very long time ago. You don't
I
think he's still
mean,
angry, do you?
I, I mean the thing against it here is that he is. I mean, he's living the dream for the lot in life he's been given. He's living the dream. But if that's not the dream you ever dreamed of, it could be a nightmare.
She molds her lip and says, it's true. I suppose Corona, being a hero of Care, would carry some of the blame for Care's great accomplishments that were had at the end of a sword or a snip. Ugh.
And if you're looking for a symbolic victory, a general in the army that did that to you would be a pretty good one, I think.
Ugh, I'm starting to think it might be my own advisor, but how could I be so blind to his ambitions? It's been so long. He finally chooses now to act. Damn it. And, yeah, she says, something seems different about him for a while. His skin started to dry out about 3 weeks ago. And he's always checking on the supplies. He says it's for logistics. But now I'm not so sure. Vakiki was always complaining about it.
Maybe we talk to Vikiki again.
Alright, so you call in Vakiki, and Vakiki says, hello, how can I help you?
Do you know what the ship is? The shipment of the ointments he was anxious for?
No, he was mostly checking in on our metals. Especially
Your
since
metals.
news of the collapse of Ushinar to the west came. And tin and other fine rare metals were of his concern. Some of them had started to go missing in very small quantities, although I thought it could just be a counting issue. But
Are
yes,
there, man?
he's
Are
been.
there records of that?
And he says, well, the records are the ones Karakhan was producing when he was correcting the counts. Otherwise, a scribe, yes, I mean, we have records. And the records are summoned, the priest of Zom presents it, and lo and behold, an amount of antimony has been going missing. Antimony is the toxic metal that Saita says was used.
Baboosh.
Yeah. Um,
Well, I'm feeling less unsure about it now.
all right. Do you emerge for the J'accuse?
What do you think?
I think so. I think it's
All right, let's do it.
Karakhan.
We're owning this decision together.
All right, you step out.
Yep.
As you step out, Karakhan is telling Orton, well, he's like trying to like look over at him and talk to him, but as you come in, they all go straighten up and they kind of look nervous. And Banera is there, and your party is there. And how do you throw the J'accuse?
Hmm. I think.
No.
Go
for it. If you got anything, go for it.
All right. So the first thing I'll do is,
Mm-hmm.
is I'm going to point towards Araton, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be like, Araton, you were fuck, what was it? I was gonna say something silly. Araton, you were one of Corona's, like, you fought alongside Corona, and based on what we learned tonight, you are not.
Oh God.
And he's like, ooh, and you see everyone else start to get more nervous.
Yeah.
Of course, I could never.
We're doing this Mori style.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
I like
Kiki.
Yes.
Whilst you seem to be omitting some things when it comes to your duties,
Only when
From what-
asked.
it seems that from what we've determined, you have not been involved with this.
Shantae or
Verbara and Karakhan are looking at each other very intently.
I look at Verbara for a little, and I look at Karakhan, and I keep looking at Karakhan, and I'm like, Karakhan,
Yes?
you have been looking for metals as of late. Is that correct?
I've only been verifying shipment amounts. I mean, with the fall of your dear Ushanar, hard times are ahead, and metal like tin could grow rare. We can't afford to have any amount of it go missing.
And
I merely
yet,
make corrections to the record.
corrections, which ended up with smaller amounts of the metals being found.
He kind of girds his teeth and says, someone is stealing them, but it's not me.
And whilst that is also true, you were the one that was polishing the rim of her drink,
And he says, I polished everyone's rim.
and yet hers is the only one that contained the metal substance that required.
He points and says, Verbara poured the drink. She selected the goblet, and Verbara says, I couldn't see what Karakhan was doing through the smoke. That's when he must have taken advantage. Put in the metal you speak of. And Karakhan says, you have no way of proving that. It could have been you. She could be the thief. She's on hard times and buying strange things
you could
from
be
nomads.
the thief spending times at the docks.
And there's, you know,
That one room that we went into, that was
Cooking the books.
Verbara's, right? And
Yeah.
not Corona?
yeah, Verbara's bedroom.
Okay.
Plus
And
the-
Verbara, we
Yes?
found from you an interesting tablet. Care do you wish to explain?
She girds her teeth and she says, the Ulano had knowledge that I thought would serve Jami in the future. I make no regret for purchasing it, although I understand if everyone does not approve.
It was a big risk, right? You could get in trouble for it, but if you succeed, it's a notable thing that you've done for the queendom.
She mauls her lips and says, and I was given few other opportunities to advance, so yes.
That's smart, enterprising, and uh, you may not have carried that to fruition, but your cleverness and cunning is now known, and you're thinking outside the box. So there is still that.
She seems happy, and Karakhan says, you praise her cunning, and yet how did she use it? And he points at the dead body. You just said she's a cunning woman who needs advancement, and now Korana is
but
dead.
why wouldn't she kill her cousin and advance to the highest possible level?
Kin killing is a great crime. And
I mean,
Karakhan
this one's not so great. It's
and he kind of grinds his teeth and says, I don't know who it was, but I know it wasn't me.
And why would it not be you, Karakhan?
Why would I, a humble wisdom, want anyone in my liege's realm
a leader
to
of an
die?
army who wiped out your family and your village, and is the reason why you are. You did not choose this life. This life was chosen for you. And while it is a noble life, if it's not one that you choose, being trapped in it could be bad.
His smile sinks as he says,
And a desire to escape.
his smile sinks and he laughs a deep laugh and says, oh, it would have been more merciful if they had all been killed. Instead, they dominated them, took them into their so-called queendom. And there's a bit of a gasp as they call, Care a so-called queendom. And he says, and so here we have yet another hero, too weak to withstand Pharaoh, but just strong enough to kick over a village. Yes, perhaps it is a pity she died here, rather than fighting. At least there she could have shit herself. And people are sorry to get a little comment. And he says, you fools! And he runs to the incense chamber. And the guards chase him. And he says, oh fuck, where's the dagger?
Yes!
As, a very horrible Scooby-Doo sequence goes down. He's like, why'd you do it? And he says, they're right. The Queendom of Care, it's horrible. I could overlook the origin of your lineage, but not Korana. Not someone who championed it. And now, I'll tell you the truth. My final prediction. This place won't last. It won't last the year. It won't even last the season. Those Ushinari are going to pick this place over like locusts. From the east and west, we will have nomads pressed in by collapse and the Pharaoh's harshness. The Pharaoh too will fall. There will be a general collapse. There will be death. I couldn't give Korana the chance to see it all go down and live a comfortable life or die nobly in the chaos. I had to kill her. And with a big party and a lot of strange people in the palace, all I had to do was away to my next task of checking on the place and leave someone else to take the blame. Someone like you. But I didn't count on you taking so damn long to talk to Banera. With the poison killing Korana so quickly. You were supposed to take the fall, damn it. And with that, he is led away for an execution by the priest of Ush. And they draw up the water from the well and they drown him standing until he is dead for his sin against the hospitality of Liquid. And as you watch him, drowned horribly in the waters, you feel very proud of yourselves at having successfully done a heckin' murder mystery.
Hell yeah. I am
Nice.
Poker Face. And you're Columbo.
So,
Boo.
yeah, you guys have determined the truth of the matter, and in doing so, have peeled back a sordid layer of the society in which you navigate and its deep history as you consult with the priest and the royalty. Everyone gets +1 society skill points,
hell yeah.
+1 history skill points.
+1 society.
I mean, you two do, and I might give it
Yeah.
to Saito, but not the NPCs. Yeah.
Okay.
So, with that
Society
said
and
done-
history, you said, right?
Yeah, society and history.
Okay. Oop.
So,
Thank
with that done, I think that we call it there for the night. And
Yeah, dog.
I suppose the last question is, if you guys pull up the stream, I can use you as a raid, teehee. But as we get ready, what is
Oh,
our...
I'm watching.
Yes. What is the... Do we have any, takeaways here? In terms
Yes.
of...
feedback and stuff.
Yeah, I want Bull Trip. Or no, wait. Someone was talking. Dark Aardvark. Talk.
It was going to be a pithy answer. But now I feel obligated to think of better feedback. It was fun. Like, it's the, I think the, you made the, I think this sort of situation, especially for me, who is not good at these sorts of things, you kept it flowing, and it was something that could have been a slog. I think was engaging, and I was kind of playing, but also in a weird way going along for the ride too. I guess I don't know.
Mhm.
So
Yay. All right.
if I think of something negative, I'll tell you later.
All right. And Bull Trip.
I don't think I've ever done a murder mystery with you. It was actually pretty fun.
It's been a very long time, but the
if I
Fallout
have, it's
Junkie...
been
years.
It's been
Literally years.
Literally years. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. A lot of the more RP heavy stuff sometimes, and just like messing around. As much as we fucked it up, it was also hilarious to do the smash and grab and just accidentally kill everybody.
Stumbling
Completely
towards
by
greatness.
accident, by the way.
Yeah, no, we could not have planned. If we would have planned, it would not have turned out that well.
I
mean-
gonna say-
Aboji might disagree, but
yeah. Let's see. Minus, but it has to be in your control. So, trying to think.
Is there anything about the system? Because I mean, you did have a fight
Yes.
today,
Yes,
which
we
was,
did.
I guess, one of the bigger fights, the biggest fight you've had.
The biggest fight I've
Yeah.
had, yeah, or we've had as a group, yeah, because it was like multiple people. I'm not sure. I feel like the Blood Mage is just a very solid pick to have, just because
Mm-hmm.
it's just able to just get back people into the fight.
it's yeah.
Like, it's insane. I don't know what this would be like without having...
I'd be playing the farmhand or Aboji.
That is true. I think we would
Yeah.
have lost like 2 or 3
I would have
party
died that
members
first
by now
episode
otherwise.
for sure.
So they're pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I like the class. I know that's not really a minus, but it's more feedback for you. It feels really nice. It is interesting to basically like be a battery for everybody else. At the end of that fight, like, or while we were leaving, because I was basically just healing other people or like stealing blood from everybody.
Mhm.
I think I ended it with like 2 of my 4 blood because I built more for being a blood bank.
Yeah, because sometimes when you spent the one, you were having to slap it into someone who was a friendly.
Correct. I was not able to always redeem it. Uh, I'm gonna have to say I don't really know if I had a negative this one. It was a pretty good. It was a pretty fun session. I enjoy the system. It is brutal at times, but it is very fun. And like when you get some armor, it mitigates things a lot. So
Can confirm.
Yes. And of course, when you get good piercing weapons, it also mitigates armor, so there's a trade-off.
yes, correct. Like I think my dagger can do pretty well against some things.
Yes.
I think that's about all I have for you.
Very good. And with that, Dark Aardvark, do you have anything, or are we popping off?
Pop, pop.
Alright, we're going to raid Hungriest Clone. I'll see you all on the flip. Fare thee well,
Flip, flip, flip,
dreamers.
flip.